Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Rob's Gaming Table. I'm Rob.
I'm Mel.
And we're here to play 51st State, 17th edition.
Is it really 17th edition?
No, but
Oh.
it feels like it based on everything I looked up when I was trying to figure this game out when it was on GameFound recently. Or a year ago or whatever it was. But hello, everybody.
Hello.
We're here to play this live. We're here to show you how it works if you don't know. This is continuing our theme of playing really old games. Not the new hotness lately, I guess, seems to be what we're doing.
Like we're trying to prove a point or something.
I don't know. I bring up BGG, I look at the year this game came out, and it's like 2010. I'm like, wait, we just played like Lord of the Rings, a deck building game on stream for like 75 hours in a row. And that was from like 2012 or something.
Something like that, yeah.
We played Castles of Burgundy right before the holidays. That was like a 2010 or 11 game or something. What other one? There was another one we played that's like old.
Oh, Dungeons and Dragons, one we played with Kyle yesterday.
Last night. Feels like a long time ago. Was literally just a few hours ago. We were streaming Dungeons and Dragons, Castle Ravenloft, the adventure board game, which came out in like 2010 or 2011 also. And then I realized, wait, today's game is also the same.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, this company is still selling the exact same game they made back in 2010 and telling you it's a new game. And full disclosure, this was not sent to us by the publisher. We're not being paid to play this. We bought this from our local game store on sale because I would never pay full price for this game as part of a bundle deal on a holiday sale. We did look into it. I looked into it at least. I know we both did.
Yeah, we did.
When this was on GameFound a while back, and I guess Portal Games wanted to just like get a bunch of quick cash, they repackaged the game, basically the exact same game, put like a couple more expansions in, did the old Kickstarter thing and like called it a new crowdfunding campaign to help raise money, but it really was just a pre-order to buy the same thing, fun to print run or whatever. And that kind of turned me off a little, but I was like, the game looked kind of cool. I kind of want it, but I didn't want to pay the rates on crowdfunding, which obviously it's going to come to retail because every single thing that Portal makes you can find in retail, no problem. They just want to fund the retail print run and see if they can get some from, it's so obvious. But I got the retail edition from my local game store. Feel better supporting my local game store, not paying like basically the same cost of the game for shipping also and doubling the cost of the game. So keep that in mind. Full disclosure, that's how we got the game. Bought it locally. We're playing it because we want to and checking it out. And then I guess after we're done teaching you how it works, playing through it, we will then talk about the game at the end, our feelings about it and stuff, as we usually do, sort of. And yeah, try to be open and honest in our thoughts. But again, our opinions are just as valid as your opinions. They're all the same weight. You know what I mean? Doesn't matter. And yeah. So this is a competitive game. So keep that in mind. Might be some trouble. We're not working together. I'm not Mel's friend anymore for today. And we will be competing in this post-apocalyptic. I don't know how it's post-apocalyptic. It's basically a resource management game with a theme slapped on. That's not connected in any way, it seems, but it's there. But yeah. How's everyone doing today? How's everyone doing? Welcome to all our live viewers. Hello to you watching later. Hello, hello, hello. Happy New Year, everybody who's not seen us for the last few streams. Matthew Rose says, I kissed off work today for this, so it better be good. No pressure.
Matthew, you can't put that pressure on us.
Hopefully our stream is quality enough for you to feel yeah, but I don't know if the game will be. I'm gonna set your bar low, please. Just set your bar low. Semper Buffo says, I missed Castle Ravenloft yesterday.
Oh, it was a fun one.
Okay, that's the only excuse I'll take that you can't stay and watch the live stream if you go back and watch a previous one, but you could always watch it later.
Yeah, it's
But
there.
as long as you're watching one of our other videos, I will never be mad at you for missing a live stream. But if you're doing anything else, like if you're like an ambulance driver and you're saving lives or a doctor in surgery, those excuses don't fly here, okay? All right, those don't work for me. Just so we know, okay? So Semper, you're good. I won't be mad. Let's see here. Playing a few older games. Finally picked up Mage Knight Ultimate, says Aaron. So many good games out there. Yes.
Yep.
So many great games and not enough time for sure.
Yep.
And there is no, I love going back in time, grabbing games I've never played that are new to me and playing them. And I don't care if they're not the new hotness. I don't care if I'm being told that, everything old is garbage. I need to back the newest game on crowdfunding. It's not true. To be honest, most of the garbage is in the future, it seems, not in the past. Interesting. Every year there's just tons of garbage and it's finding the needles in the haystack. The beauty is when you go back in the past, people have already done the work and played the games and You know, you don't, all the noise from the companies and the reviewers are not there anymore. It's just, you can go find out from real people. What games are you still playing on your table? What does your family still like? What do you see at the board game store still selling? That kind of stuff. It's like, you can find the old classics that still are great games that new games are kind of like trying to adapt from. And sometimes they miss the mark, right? But new games, you don't know when you're backing a game on crowdfunding that's like new, and there's 100 games on crowdfunding right now you could back. It's like, which ones are going to turn out to be actually worth it? And which ones, like, am I not even going to want to open when they show up because they end up just like, wow, they really missed the mark and I got tricked by marketing and FOMO. So yeah, it's kind of fun to go back in time, and I recommend it. Try it. It's nice. Go back in your catalog. Go find that old game that you got in the hobby on. And I've been having a blast being nostalgic lately and just going in the past, finding games I've never played, finding games I haven't played in years. And some of the best games in the hobby they're not on crowdfunding. They didn't just come out this year. Like, they came out a while ago, and they still hold up today, which is kind of what I'm learning. That's kind of my theme of like 2023 so far. 2024 is, yeah, I like going to blast to the past, and I appreciate your support. Thank you to these people and many more for supporting us here, allowing me to be able to play whatever the hell I want and not need to play just Kickstarter prototypes to do this. And I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you for that.
So much.
Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Thank you guys. I need to do that. But yeah. This is 51st State. Okay, this up here, sorry. This over this way. 51st State came out in 2010. A 6.8. Supposedly people hate it, I guess. Even though 6.8 on the scale maybe is like decent. We don't usually play games that are that lowly ranked. So maybe, I don't know, the publisher pissed a bunch of people off and they just went in here and angry downvoted it. I don't know. That happens. Maybe the original game wasn't that quality. It needed like a re-release, which I think is what happened. But I don't know. I didn't really know about this game till not too long ago. Like, we got in the hobby in around 2012, but like this game never really crossed my path at all. And I know, like, when I looked into it, it says right there, it's like based in the world of Neuroshima Hex or whatever. That game I heard about when I got into the hobby, but I didn't know about this game until, like, I think when it came on crowdfunding maybe the last time. So I missed the boat. So whatever drama or whatever happened over the years, I have no idea. I have no idea. But
mind you, though, 6.8, okay, that's kind of low, but 1748, like, overall, like 1,700. I mean, that's not the greatest, but that's okay for a game that's from 2020.
And when I was joking about the 17th edition, it has been re-implemented a few times and repackaged into separate SKUs.
Oh, this is much better.
Imperial Sellers, I remember that game being talked about at the time. And I didn't realize it was a complete just reskin of this game, but yeah, both those games are more beloved. They're like in the top 300. We're basically playing this because everything I could find from Googling online, looking at images and rules and stuff, we're playing the Ultimate Edition, but it is literally just the master set, no extra work put into it, except for sticking another expansion or two in the box and changing the box art maybe. But that's all I could find. Like, all the cards, abilities, everything seems the same. The rules, just added new expansions in the box. So you're just getting more in the same cardboard square.
So it looks like people like this one better, or at least rate it better.
Well, the new one is not rated, so it's missing from here.
No, the master set, though, the 2016 one. I'm just...
Like it better?
Yeah.
Better than the original.
Yeah.
Because 7.6, I mean, that's still pretty kind of low, right?
It is.
It's not, like, I don't know, man.
But 376 as well as a overall rank. That's not terrible.
So the master set, yeah, having 380. The thing is, the Ultimate Edition we're playing today can't be ranked.
Oh.
It's not, it doesn't have a rank. I don't know why. Maybe because it's literally the exact same game, just instead of putting Ultimate, it said standard. But they're like, it was just like a reason to make money on crowdfunding. It's so obvious. Like, this has been happening for over a decade where it's like, I need to sell another print run on crowdfunding. What do I do? Quick, come up with like a 10-card expansion. And then we're kickstarting that expansion. But then we let people also order the base game. And hopefully more people order that. And then we can fund our next print run or our next project or get out of debt or pay our employees or get our Christmas bonuses. You know, it's obvious. Like, it's a quick way to get quick cash, right? Especially if people don't know about the game, because there's new people coming to the hobby all the time, right? And it's like good marketing to do it that way too. So, but yeah, this one can't be ranked, but I guess people rated it higher. I don't, but all these numbers are useless, right? They don't mean anything, easily manipulated, all that stuff. So don't take it to heart. But anyways, this is what we're playing. I'm just trying to kind of level you out, like what is out there and what are these things and how are they related. So we just got this Ultimate Edition, but if you found a used copy of Master Set, I think you're fine. You know, don't feel like you need this edition if you already own one of them. I think you're fine. I think you could just buy the expansion you're missing or whatever. But I'm not an expert, but that's all I know. But you can do some Googling and find out more. I'm sure there's like buyer's guides and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't remember what we paid for this, but I don't know. It was just available at our game store. It was on sale.
I don't remember it being very expensive.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think it was either, which it shouldn't be. Anyways. All right. Yogi says the Ultimate is just a storage solution to fit everything from the Master Set plus all expansions. What do you mean by plus all expansions? Isn't there only like one extra expansion that wasn't in the Master Set, or is it like 2 or 3 maybe? 2 or 3 that are different, I think. But yeah. All right. There we go. I bumped the table. I was like, why is it not like leveled? Oh, there's 5 expansions at least. Oh, okay, okay.
Okay.
Gotcha. Yeah, and depending on you guys wanting to watch this, we may play some of those other expansions. Today we're gonna play the base game, but I did mix in another deck because you know, my card holder wasn't completely full. I still had some space. So I sleeved up one of the expansion decks you can put in. This is the winter set, which made sense. We're playing in January. So I shuffled that in. Just because, you know, I wanted it to feel like a new game. You know, all the new hotness games have giant decks of cards that fall over when you sleeve them. So I thought, all right, let's make it feel like a new game by just making an out of control giant deck that there is literally no card holder for. So I did that and I put them all together. So now we can compare it to like Arc Nova, Terraforming Mars, Wingspan, Earth, all those super hot games. We can now compare this to because it has the same giant deck. So there you go. Now they're apples to apples. But yeah, this is 50 per state. I'm going to explain it to you guys. I know some of you have never seen this before. Just like me, I literally didn't know what this game was for like a year ago when it was on crowdfunding, which again, crowdfunding is, I make fun of like, okay, they just sold me basically the same game that already existed instead of just reprinting another one in store so I could go buy it in store. It was out of print. So they did the whole FOMO thing. But if it was never on crowdfunding, I would have never heard of it and never put it on a list to go, oh, when it comes out retail, maybe I'll grab a copy. And so the marketing works, right? It works because maybe I would have never known.
I think we also had people recommending this game to us.
Yeah, when I was looking at it, people were like saying it was good and I should try it and play it. Yeah. And I remember showing Mel, I showed Mel like, this is what the game is. Do you want to back it on GameFound? And we were like, nah, let's wait because we know it'll be cheaper. We looked up prices of the original set and stuff, and we know prices at our local game store, and we're like, it'll be better in Canada for sure to buy it at retail. You don't need the extra fluff.
And it was.
That definitely was. Yeah, there's more content in the box than we need for sure. So they definitely upsold us on some expansions that we may never play. That's just how it goes. But yeah. So what is happening here? This is just a simple resource management game. You're building a tableau that basically helps you change one resource into another resource. And you're producing resources, trading them to make other resources, and spending them into the ultimate resource, victory points. So the winner just gets the most victory points. Theme doesn't matter, which makes sense why they could slap on that Imperial Settlers theme and all that. And I'm surprised they haven't made like a whole bunch of different themes on this game, because like there's no theme really. It's literally just, we got gray, blue, red, orange, red, blue, gray. Like these are connected, you know, like gray to gray, blue to blue, red to red. It's all just trading things. There's some wild tokens, but we're basically going to be building a tableau of cards. It's our state. So this is like the world's ended. It's the usual post-apocalyptic thing. We will be each playing as a state. You can play, I guess, up to 4 players because there's only 4 states in the box. There is solo rules. Maybe we'll stream those to try them out. There's 2 actually. There was like a regular solo rules I read, which seemed like pretty generic Eurogame solo rules, which are fine. But then there was like an Automa or whatever in there that made it a little more advanced, I think. And there's ways to like play the expansions with solo and stuff. I don't know if I want to go through that effort. I'd rather just play this as a multiplayer game, but we'll see. Maybe I'll stream it in the future. If you guys are interested, let me know in the comments below. Hit the like button, helps other people find the video, you know, that kind of stuff. If people are watching it and people care and want to see it, but I'm sure those videos are out there already. You guys don't need me to do it. I'm sure the game's been out since like 2010. So I'm sure all that stuff's out there. But we're going to be each picking a faction. We'll do it random. I have a D4 somewhere in here. A D4. Got a couple D4s. Okay. Oh, you got a purple. I got yellow. You. Okay, we'll do that in a sec. But basically, you're picking a faction. This becomes your state. Kind of like your little village you're building. Your little country or your province, your state, whatever it is. It's really your state. But for those that don't have states, that's what it is. So this is like, we're in America, I guess. Because it's a state. Oh, yeah, you got New York and not New York and not New York and not New York. But we got New York. So anyways, you're building your state, and it's basically, this is just the start of your tableau. And picture like Everdell is kind of like what I was kind of feeling when I was doing this. You're going to be playing locations into your state in 3 different rows, and they're going to give you production on the top row, which is going to generate you some of these goodies here. And also your faction is going to generate you specific goodies that kind of make your faction a little bit personal to you and focused on a specific one of the 4 resources. So like, obviously one of the factions, this gray faction, is focused on gray resources, and that's kind of their jam. The blue faction's focused on blue resources, red to red, orange to orange, okay? And each of those resources are focused on kind of some of the different actions you can do on a turn. And it's kind of clever. I like the pace of it, where we're just gonna keep going round and round, doing 1 action each. So I do an action, super simple, super quick. You don't even have to wait that long. And boom, it's your turn again. Action. You're done an action, I'm doing an action. And you're basically, actions are turning those resources you're generating with your production into victory points with things along the bottom here, usually. I know there are other things that these things do at the bottom, but these are action cards along the bottom, and they actually have a row for actions, okay? You have features along the middle. These things will kind of help you in different ways, or just like ongoing abilities, or like things that just store things or generate some things for a one-time use. And then on the top, again, you have production. So they'll have the word production on them, production, and they're kind of like to produce things, okay? And these are your location cards. You'll be building your tableau out, you know, building cards, putting them out, and just trying to be the first one-ish, sort of. You don't need to be. But the first one to hit this magical little 25 points up here. Once somebody hits that, it basically signals the last round of the game. And then you can keep playing and scoring points. And then at the very end, you add up all the locations in your tableau. And those will give you 1 point each. And then you just find out who is the highest on the victory point track, and that's the winner. Okay? So whoever can build the best like little engine of turning this resource into that resource into victory points is the winner. But it's got that cool like viticulture kind of thing, which I love about viticulture, is the like who is gonna hit the victory points and trigger it, because you're not necessarily gonna be the winner. So you don't want to be like, I'm running out of gas, let me just cross the finish line with the little bit I have left. Because then the other players are like, stupid rabbit, I'm the turtle, and I'm gonna just do and save all my energy and walk right past you, right? So it's got, I love that little mechanic of do I want to be the one to start this as the last turn or not? Like, or does the other player have a ton of resources left, and all the resources are open knowledge except for cards in your hand? But you do draft those openly, some of them you draw blindly, like, so players don't know. But it's whoever can like kind of at the last turn, like blast ahead of the other player, which I like that in games. That's a clever little thing. And that's one of my favorite things in viticulture, which is one of my favorite games too. Super quality game. So yeah, so we're building this little tableau, and we're kind of like, you know, using actions to make a little engine to turn resources and not be wasteful and turn them into victory points, and you win. That's pretty much it. There's not much more to the main game than that. But the thing that honestly made me pull the trigger to buy it, I wouldn't have bought it if that's all there was to it, okay? I wouldn't have bought it if that's all there was to it. I wouldn't have spent money on it for sure, but it has one little thing that two things, and you guys will know one of them for sure, is the term multi-use cards. I'm a sucker for that stuff, because what multi-use cards do is add more decision points. and make you feel like you have a giant menu of options from in front of you, so many paths you could take, and is which one the right one, and you feel those decisions might be meaningful and you might regret some of them, and you gotta just work your best with what you have. I love that. And this has that. So on a location, I could spend red tokens to just gain resources. The card is gone. So if I just need some quick resources, get her done. If I spend gray tokens, I can put this into play as a location that's sitting there. Will I use it in the future? You know, or will I not? Who knows? Will it get blown up? Who knows? But I could put that into play and make it a location in my tableau. Or I could spend blue tokens on the very bottom. If I flip it upside down, I could use blue tokens equal the cost to slide it underneath. And that will also give me extra resources during production. So I could have a whole bunch of these slid under here. And there's even ways on some cards that you might want to discard a card as part of the cost to do the ability. So technically they kind of have 4-ish uses. So every card in your hand could be used many ways depending on if you have the resources to use it. But the ability to play it as any of those uses is not as easy as some of the games I like better. This, you actually have to spend other resources to earn the cardboard tokens. You need to do one of those 3 things with the card. So you can't always just, this card, I get to play it. You need like this specific resource. It's not like we just have gold and gold plays the card. And when you play the card, you choose one of 3 things to do with it. No, you have to have like gold, silver, whatever, and that you need to do the specific one of the 3 multi-use things with the card, if that makes sense. But there's still lots of decisions, lots of tight resource management and trying to spend things efficiently to run your little state and kind of be the state that takes over, I guess, at the end and win the post-apocalyptic world. The second thing that was like, all right, I'll buy this. As soon as I found out one of the things you can do in the game tied to the red tokens, not only can I spend red tokens to just get these spoils off of a card in my hand, I could get the spoils off of a card in Mel's tableau. These spoils, and I can shut off the ability that she has by basically attacking her little state village thing. And she could kind of defend it and prepare for that. But that whole idea of like, you got to keep an eye on your opponent because you can disrupt their economy, their engine, their race to the victory points, but you're giving up stuff you're doing kind of in your spot. And then that could entice them to fight you. And it's not all about fighting each other though. Okay, this is the part I really like. A game that's just straight up like, I'm going to crush you and I crush you better. No. You could literally play this game in one of the most beautifully put together games. And I know some people are like, I've played it 8,000 times, it sucks. And it's old, is Scythe. One of my favorite games in the hobby is Scythe because it has that beautiful balance of Euro game, but the threat of combat that depending on the tension at the table and the players at the table and what is happening and who's the leader and all that stuff, there could be some fighting people, but it's the threat of combat. The decision like, do I combat? And the whole game could go by and nobody fights. Or there's like very little fighting. Or there's a lot of fighting, depending on what factions in the game and stuff like that, or what people are trying to do. And in this, the same thing. Mel and I have played a couple games of this, maybe 2 or 3. And sometimes there's a little bit of fighting. Sometimes there's early fighting. Sometimes there's late game fighting. Sometimes there's no fighting. Sometimes I'm just ignore her. I play my own thing. But there's the threat that any moment she could just bomb one of my locations and blow it up. And if anyone has seen the game, this reminds me, has a feel, because it's probably the post-apocalyptic and the building of things and stuff, is Radlands.
Oh, yeah.
Radlands is much newer. It's a 1v1 card game. I love that freaking game. This gives me vibes of that, but not the same kind of game at all. But I still have those kind of like, I'm watching what you're doing and I'm going to try to disrupt it. And there's that threat there. And do I spend my actions to do this versus that? There's choice. It's kind of like that kind of competitive game. But really it's just resource management, but it has those 2 things, the multi-use cards and the tension, not just the like, I'm going to always be fighting. Like that's the boring and been done. Right. But it's the like, every game could be different with the amount of how much am I going to interact with the other players at the table. So totally depending on who you're playing with and the people's play styles and what's going on in the game, you might have a different combat experience, which is neat. I like that a lot. I think that's neat that it's there as a tool, but not necessary. So yeah, so the game could be very boring to you if you play with people who are like fighting. Maybe you don't like the fighting aspect. It may not happen, but it's there as a thing, which is cool. All right. I could get more nitty gritty, and I think I should a little bit in how the game plays and stuff, but we're basically, like I said, going to go have rounds in the game, taking turns until someone hits the 25 victory points, and then we finish that round, keep going, and then total up locations and find final victory points. But along the way, the actions, each round, we'll kind of show you the rounds, I think, through the playthrough, but basically the gist of a high level, and you'll see as we play through it, because we'll be doing it many times, is we'll be doing a card draft at the start of every round to get cards into your hand, which is neat. And then we'll also have these connection cards, I think they're called, are also a thing that anyone can grab, and there's like one set of cards each round, and they'll kind of help you get things, and that's one of the actions you can choose on a turn. So it's kind of like a tension thing where like, is somebody going to grab one of these? Should I grab it now? But if I grab it now, I'm not taking the action on a card, and then Mel might blow up that card before I take the action on it. And then, oh my God. So like, depending on the level of competitiveness of the players and how their experiences with the game, I can see this game getting really dirty, where like you're really paying attention to your opponent and really like, oh man, they didn't take the action to get those 4 victory points off that card. It's now my chance. Or Mel sees me gathering tokens that enable me to attack, and then she knows, oh crap, I better get the most important card on my board. I better use it because Rob has now the ability to launch missiles and kill it, you know, that kind of thing. So that's kind of fun. So these cards are connection cards. They're out there. There's something you can take. We'll be drafting cards, and then we go through. Oh, I left the rulebook upstairs.
I have it.
Just the terminology, like, oh, again, in games like this where the theme is not really there and it's just literally like mechanisms and it's pasted on. I have trouble like connecting things in the game to like terminology and stuff like that. That always tells me like the theme is not there, or like it's not connecting with me, and it's not really connected with the mechanics very well. So I always have to look it up, and I just couldn't, man. I could not. I read this rulebook. So the lookout phase is when you receive new cards. Production phase will basically be generating our production, where you'll get production based on your faction off your board. You'll get production based on the cards in your production row, and production based on things tucked underneath, okay? And then we go to actions, where there's a bunch of actions. I don't know how many there are in the base game. 7?
Yep.
6, 8 technically,
8.
I think, because passing.
Oh, okay.
I think.
Yeah.
So again, the actions, 8 of them, I think. You can build a location into your tableau. You can develop a location. So if you have something in your tableau, you could spend a brick, or there's these construction tokens, which are like super bricks, which I'm surprised they're not orange, to kind of match the flow of things for learning purposes. But these construction tokens can be spent the same way bricks can, except for bricks, I can, what is called is develop a location. So basically, if I spent resources previous action or previous round to put a location in here, I could spend a brick instead of spending the tokens needed. So normally, Matthew, thank you for gifting 5 memberships to the channel.
Matthew, thank you so much. Thank you.
You generous bugger, you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. That's
Thank
too
you
kind.
So much. Thank you.
Christopher says, nah, even if there's hundreds of videos about this game, I'd rather watch Mel and Rob play any game you bring to the table. Zing! I like it. I like it.
Thank you.
Matthew, thank you so much for the support. Edward says, love this game. Yeah, this game is growing on me. It's growing on me, but again, we're only a couple playthroughs in, so keep that in mind. Like, anything I say about this game, I'm only a few plays in. We literally just started playing it right after Christmas. We played our first game of it before New Year's, and then I got sick, and then we kind of had to relearn it, replay it a bit. But yeah, it's growing, so we're not going to be pros at like, here's how to get 100 points every single game or anything like that. We're just going to show you kind of how it plays, and you guys can judge, like, is this kind of play style good for you? We'll kind of describe what we're doing as we play. But yeah.
Thank you, Matthew.
Oh, Tim says, if you like messing with your opponent's buildings, you have my ear. Check out older UWE, I don't know how to say that, Rosenberg games. Aura Yeah, tongue-tied. I've heard of Le Havre or Le Havre, however you say that one. In Aura, you can pay a whiskey to force their workers to work for you.
Oh, that's funny.
That's cool.
That's funny.
Aura e Labora. Aura e Labora? I've never heard of that one.
I've never heard of that one either.
Juve? Thank you, Yogi.
Thank you, Yogi.
Juve Rosenberg. Okay. Havre. Le Havre.
Yeah, we've heard of that one.
Yeah, I definitely have. But I still, out of those kind of games that all blend to me because they all have weird titles and ugly box arts and stuff, and they're all Euro games, I still have to go back and we got to get that other one that everyone's talking about in Castles of Burgundy. I looked it up, it wasn't in stock. And I wanted to get the expansion. Yogi was telling me about the expansion, the other expansion.
It's not Lost something, is it?
And now I can't remember. It's the New Orleans one.
Oh, yeah.
Orleans. I always think of New Orleans as like New Orleans whenever I think of that game. And that helps me remind me that's which one it is. Out of the mess of games I have no knowledge of that are all just blend together to me because I'm not a Euro gaming specialist. Yeah, Orleans.
Yeah.
Orleans.
I almost sold out.
This Rob's Gaming Table? I think I'm on the wrong YouTube channel.
Rob's Table Gaming.
Rob's Table Gaming?
Yeah, Matthew is...
Matthew, what is happening? Matthew, are you clicking wrong buttons again?
Yeah, we saw your message and laughed yesterday when you said you reported us by accident.
Oh, yeah. I'm surprised you're even here today. And this channel isn't hidden from you forever.
Yeah.
You know, because you reported us for all the bad things we say and do. Matthew started drinking early, says Mitch.
I mean, he took the day off.
It's all good.
It's fine. It's Friday.
It's all good.
It's noon here, Matthew.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Past noon.
Yep.
You're good.
Yep. Okay. So out of the actions, back to the actions. So building a location is one thing you do. But another thing is you can replace a location. And that kind of saves you some costs, sort of. So let's say you're done with the location or you don't need it anymore or you just want to save income. You could develop a building. Oh, perfect. So using a brick is like the most restrictive way to do it. I could spend this brick to replace this location because it has at least one matching location type. Okay, so this has a gun, this has a gun. I just need to match one of them. I could spend this brick, replace this location. And the cool part is, oh, actually this location should be down here in the bottom row. I could build this production location, developing, like upgrading this location out of play. So unfortunately I lose that location, but I might have not had the gray tokens to afford to build a location. So it'll kind of help you if you feel like something in your hand is more important or more late game friendly versus something you put in that's early game friendly, or that you've even used on the turn already and you're like, there might be only one turn left in the game. I use this location. I'm not using it anymore. Let's replace it with something I can use, you know, and you can upgrade it that way. The tokens are usually more powerful, the cardboard ones and the wooden ones. That's how I think about it. Because this one's kind of like lets you replace anything. The types don't need to match. Also, when your locations get blown up, they're upside down and they're called ruins. You can replace a ruins. Think of it as like a wild, kind of like the construction thing. I could spend a brick, and this is considered to have any type of thing. So I could replace this, and I still would discard it, put the new location in. It doesn't have to go where it is. It still goes in the specific either production row, feature row, or actions row, depending on the card type. This is production, so this would be in the top row, okay? So that's like the most complex stuff in the game, is just putting locations into play and upgrading locations. And all that's related to those two actions. That's like the meat and potatoes, the hardest thing to understand this game. That's how complex it gets. That's it. Everything else is like super easy. Making a deal is literally just paying the blue tokens instead of gray tokens. Again, just think of all these cardboard color tokens as the 3 ways to use a card. All have specific resources tied to them. So if I want to build a location, it's gray. And it's gray right here. But always you got to look at this cost. But that's the distance. I don't know. It's just the cost. Distance from your state, whatever. It's like, again, the theme is just like, doesn't make sense. But the red here, you just tie it to the red corner of the card. If I want all these resources, I need to spend this value in red to gain these. And if I want this blue line on the bottom tucked under my board up here, added to my deals. I could make a deal by spending the equivalent amount on the distance value in blue to get that. Super straightforward. Do I want the bottom of this card? I spend blue, tuck it. That's an action. Your turn. Okay. Compared to construction where it's like, which row am I building in? How much does it cost? Super basic, but there are some placement restrictions. And then development is actually more complicated with the brick or the construction token and types matching and rows they go in. And if you have a prerequisite ruins or whatever, yeah, that's as complicated as it gets. Oh, and every time you develop, you get a victory point. Okay, which I wish was printed right on here with a reminder, kind of like at the end of the turn, you don't discard cards when you clean up. Okay.
Yeah, it's the easiest one to forget.
Yeah, I wish it just said right on here, you know, big line says, don't forget to get a victory point when you develop, you know, or something. I don't know. Anyways, make a deal, super easy. Raising, that was the thing about attacking your opponent or raising from your hand. So anything related to the red token, they call that raising. So you can raise a card out of your hand to get these resources. You can't raise your own location that's in play. These are not available for you anymore once you choose to use the card as a location or development or a deal. Once it's tucked, obviously you can't see anything on the card, which is clever. So don't touch anything else. But if it was in my opponent's area, I could raise it, and that's how I would get that. They're both still called the raise action. The difference is if I raise this from my hand, this is my cost of red arrow tokens I need. If it's in my opponent's area, it actually is equal to the cost of this red shield. So actions in the bottom row versus features in the middle row is a difference of I need 4 red tokens or 5 red tokens. Production are only 3. So it is cheaper to kind of blow up your opponent's production locations to get the spoils. And when you blow up your opponents, this is one of those games where they're like, okay, like, you know, attacking your opponent makes people hate this game, and then they tell their friends they hate this game. So you know what we'll do? Let's add something for them so they're not so upset. So when I blow up a location, I get these goodies, and I stop her from having access to this stuff here and having this type of location if she needed it. But when it blows up and flips, she gets this as the consolation prize. So here you get a gun, take it, stop crying. I blew up your thing, okay? Okay. So they didn't want to feel too bad. So it's like they added that rule in for people who are like, don't like competitive games that much and they didn't want to like throw it in the garbage. So yeah. So I'm not too impressed by that, but it's a thing in the game. Okay. Suck it up, Buttercup. The other thing is you can use an action from a location. So if you have a location that has an action on the bottom, that's an action you can do on your turn. Spend something, end something to gain something. There's victory points, okay? We're racing for stars. So like I said, it's turn this token into that resource and that resource into victory points. That's literally the flow of the game. And whatever in the middle is just doing it better than your opponent and stopping your opponent from doing it better than you. But also on your player board, you also have actions printed on there. And these are one-time use. So when you use these ones, and also these are one-time use. So when you use this action, you actually put the resources on the card or on the board to show you've used it for that round. At the end of the round, you'll clean all those away so you can do them again next round, except for this action down here. You can spend 2 little black workers as many times as you have workers for it to get a resource of any type, which resources are only the wooden tokens, which I like when games do that, when they actually make tokens of a specific material that are called something different than tokens, because everything is resources, right? So I wish they didn't really use the term resources for anything, because card's a resource, this is a resource, like it's a resource management game. Everything's a resource. Your actions are resources, you know? But the wooden things up here, but not the wooden workers, which is kind of annoying too. So, and they're not even the same. This is a tray from the game, and I don't know why they're separated like this, but so iron or gears, fuel, guns, and brick are considered resources. This ammo token is considered a wild of any one of those. Okay. Workers are not resources. They're just workers. Okay. So it's going to be weird, but whenever we hear like a resource, it just means this, and this. Okay. Those are the basic resources of the game. And then these tokens are not resources, even though you spend them to do things. Anyways, yeah, weird. I think it's like a translation thing or something. But yeah, so this is unlimited. you can spend these not resources to gain a resource or a card, which again is not a resource, but it's a resource. This action may be activated any number of times. It says it right there. Okay. So this action you could choose on your turn, or this action on your card or whatever. Those are considered taking an action from location, I guess. Oh, actually, no, they're actually separate. Use an action from your faction board is considered a different action than using it from a location, even though they're like all the same thing.
I think that's why, yeah.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's why I think it's 8, but it's only 7. Okay. The other thing you could do is take or play a connection card. That is this thing up here. You could spend 2 workers, 2 little workers. Okay. You spend these 2 workers and you can take one of these cards. There's only 1 available each round. At the end of the round, if nobody takes them, they get discarded. At the start of the next round, they get refilled. And there's a limited number of like 8 or something in each deck. Those once they're gone, they're gone. But you can spend 2 workers to take it to hand before someone else does. And then a separate action on a future turn, whenever you feel like it, even in another round, I assume, because these cards don't leave your hand.
Yeah.
You then can play it without spending anything, because you've already paid for it to grab it, to just gain the instant ability on it. Okay. So it's 1 action to gain it for 2 workers, and another action later in the game, whenever you want, to play it. Okay, that's a separate action. Okay, it's like a 2-step process. Okay, think of it like that. And then the other action you could do is pass. If you pass, it says you're done. And also the other sissy thing that they added to the game. Okay, when you pass, no one can touch any of your things. Not happy about that. Okay, so if you need to go to the washroom, you pass, you leave the table, no one can touch your stuff. I'm just kidding, but yeah, your stuff's off limits. No one can attack your stuff. No one can use your locations. You're just kind of safe. The only problem is now your opponent's allowed to go ham with anything they have left, and there's nothing you can do to stop them. Okay. So passing is like you're done for the round. You either have nothing left to do, or strategically you're like, I just need to lock it off so my opponents can't get me, and I'm done my major turn things. The only problem is, and it's weird, in this game you don't save resources from turn to turn. There are locations that break that rule where you can store things on them, but normally everything gets cleaned up. So if you have resources to spend still, you should probably spend them, unless you're truly done, because they go away. They go away. So like, it's all about being as efficient with your stuff in a round as you can, because at the end of the round, everything has an expiry date, I guess, except for cards in your hand and resources that you stored on a special location that lets you store stuff. If you have that location, if you put it in play. But yeah, and once everyone's passed, we go to a cleanup phase where we clean up all that stuff, except for cards in your hand and resources locked away on storage locations. And then we refresh cards, we draw new cards and all that stuff. I think that's it. I think that's it. Also, ready for me to get some hate mail? Okay. This is one thing, this bugs me, and I have to say it because I can, okay? I know you might not like it, but this is the kind of stuff that really rubs me the wrong way. I don't care how awesome this game is, this stuff I don't like in the hobby at all. I don't mind when I open a box and there's a pamphlet in the box that shows me the other games that the publisher makes. That is great. I look at it, I say, oh, I own some of these already, or I don't own some of them, let me look them up. And I either put that back in the box to remind me later, or I put it in the recycle bin and I'm good. This publisher, for some reason, thinks it's funny. And like, I just want to rip these pages out, but then there's information on the other side. And I know they thought of that. But for some reason, this game that you paid extra money for and kickstarted, most of you, right? Because I'm sure this is in the Kickstarter edition. I'm sure they didn't print a separate rulebook for retail. But even so, I didn't pay a very cheap cost for this game. But as I'm going through this rulebook, and somehow this rulebook's so big for such a straightforward game, it's also a very, there's 2 problems. One is the cringy rulebook writing.
Yeah.
Please no publishers do this ever again. This is like, honestly, it gave me a very bad taste in my mouth. I know it's very nitpicky, but when I'm rereading this or trying to learn it or teach it, I don't need lines in the rulebook like this. Okay, this is like a no-no. This is like, you think you're funny, but like there's some translation problems. The production on some cards depends on the goods you have in your possession. Always resolve their production first before gaining goods from any other sources. There is no point in explaining why this is important. Just trust me and do what I say. Okay? I know it's trying to be funny. I know they're trying to put theme in the rule book. But when I'm trying to teach this game to other players and new players, or like teach it on the internet, not everyone's doing that obviously, but like I want to know why that's a thing. Just explain it to me. I don't know if they ran out of space in the rule book. That's what I thought at first. And I'm like, oh, they ran out of space, so they just write funny things like this because they don't want to explain it. And that's kind of lazy, stupid, silly. No place for this, right? Keep the theme in like a separate location. I know I might sound like an old prude or something.
No, it's really annoying.
That is all throughout here. Even Mel was like, man, this is horrible. I'm like, this is cringe, man. This is the term cringe is like all in this rule book, okay? Very dumb, but that's not the worst. As I'm flipping through and I'm like, okay, I'm trying to understand and I'm broken from learning by reading these stupid flavor things in here. Like, it's so dumb. Yeah, it's dumb. Okay. And they never explain why you need to do that with that, by the way. There's not like a spot later. There's not a rules reference that explains any of those rules where they just shortcut it like that and say, don't worry about it. It's because they printed this game 17 times and they think, I don't need to explain stuff. Like, who cares? They get it by now. Because it's the same people are buying this game over and over again, I guess. So they don't really care about their fans. But as I'm flipping through, this is like, you know, whatever. It only happens a couple times, but where the hell is it? Right here. Okay, I don't need full ad spreads in my book. Okay, giant, and I'm advertising for them right now. I wish I could have blurred the screen, but yeah, you can advertise here. Okay, so I'm like, okay, great, that's cool. It's annoying. Okay, then it's advertising a whole bunch of stuff from like GameFound content. Okay, I don't need this in my rule book, but I know they're trying to upsell me. So basically, these are all advertisements. You know, GameFound, you got to get this on GameFound. You missed out. Ha ha ha. Go get this stuff, right? Promos, promos, promos. So I know this is probably the same rule book that's in your crowdfunding copy. And then you guys know I love, if you have a giant rule book I'm going to keep on the table, use the back for reference, right? And I was just showing you reference on the rule book and you're like, oh, that's there, Rob. No, you would think this is the back of the rule book and you'd be wrong. And this is the bad back of the rule book with credits, right? No, that's not the back of the rule book. This is the back of the rule book, a giant advertisement. And then I'm like, oh, I'll just cut this off. Oh, okay, the reference is still not there. No, reference is hidden in here. So there's my reference. So at least I can just fold it. So this is how I kind of keep my rule book. But yeah, advertisements in the rule book, get that out of here. Get it out of here. Feels cheap. Feels very cheap. So bad writing and advertisements in the rule book equals horrible rule book. Yeah, stupid. The ads in there are so dumb. And they made it so you can't just like get rid of them easily, which I totally would do because I don't want to see that junk. So I'll just get rid of the game. That's the plan. All right.
It was more the writing that bothered me,
Yeah,
especially in
that
the
was
rereading. So the first time, okay, sure, if
You're
you
like,
want to
"Ha,
be
ha,
funny,
cute."
that's fine. But then when I'm like rereading to get a section or figure out if I've done something correctly, and I got to reread that again, I'm like, okay, this is silly now. Like I'm just trying to figure out the answer to a question.
Yeah, and I didn't want to forget that later because I might at the end of the stream just be tired and like, all right, let's get out of here. But I just want to point that out while I had the rule book in hand because that bothered me. And then if you guys are wondering on the reference, this is kind of weird. But the reference material, they also were kind of lazy about it. They kind of worked in the expansion rules. So you can only play with one expansion at a time is my understanding. But then they worked in those rules into the reference based on colors. So as you're kind of quickly glancing to understand the flow of the game or what happens, you got to ignore or care about certain colors, right? Which is just a little weird. It's like too space saving, I think. I wish they just had a reference card for the base rules. You know, maybe a two-sided card and then like one card for like with an expansion reference on one side, another expansion reference on the other. So you could just kind of have those two little cards at the table. I don't think this is really needed, but I don't know. I guess they had to make space for all the other advertisements, so they just had to condense everything. I don't know, but anyways, very weird. It's like a very scummy thing, it feels like. I don't know, but maybe you guys find that funny. But yeah, it's just weird to me. It just stands out because no other games I can think of that I own that like advertise right in the rulebook like that, and then have that horrible like, let's just not put rules text and let's put funny text instead, telling them to shut up and I'm better than you and deal with it. Like, what? Why is my rulebook talking to me like this? Yeah, Edward, exactly. The separate one-page flyer that's so normal in board games, and I'm fine with that. Just advertise me as soon as I open the box, or on the side of the box is fine, like hidden behind the lip. Like every time I open that rule book, you're reminding me about some game. Okay, ha. I paid for those pages to be printed in this game. I paid for that extra weight and that extra paper, and that's what you used it for? Okay, sure.
Even those promos, if they had to do that because they needed to give
for
the Kickstarter people that got them and maybe they need clarification, or I didn't read those pages, so I don't know.
Or like one little
But then
page.
have it on a separate page.
Yes, like one little page telling me there's more for this game. Go find it, or on the side of the box. Totally okay. That's expected, because as a consumer, if I like the game, I want to know if there's more out there, right? But then advertising your whole catalog, like all mixed in the book, a bunch of games I don't care about, expansions for games I don't own, like, okay. Okay, buddy. And you can say, oh, it's their game. They can do what they want. No, it's my game. I paid for that. It's my game. I paid for that. I paid for ads. I paid for ads.
Matthew says, I've never seen text that says, do what I say. That is crazy. It was crazy. Even in like the setup, it's like talking about like, give the boards to each player and tell them that they need to give them back. It's not their game. Like stupid things like that.
Like
that
wasted
I'm like,
space.
Okay,
wasted
like,
space.
Funny, but no. Like maybe one section, do it. Or if you're going to put on cards and stuff and be silly, fine.
Yeah.
But I'm like, in setup, why am I reading stuff like that? I don't know.
Yeah. Like when I'm learning a game, I already am getting information overload.
Yeah.
All the information I'm getting better help me understand your game better, not make me try to understand your humor and break myself out of the learning process and then try to get back into the learning process.
But I think Yogi says like maybe it wasn't like it didn't translate well to everybody.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's like dumb humor.
I picture someone who's like doesn't speak English as a first language, like writing some of that stuff too, because it's like, oh, it's like maybe that's funny in their country or something. I don't know. I don't know, but yeah. I know games are supposed to be fun. I'm supposed to be a more lighter attitude. Maybe it's a lighter game. I should be kind of treating it that way, but yeah, just weird.
Yeah, it was
just weird. The only other thing I didn't touch on were these shields. So these are a way. I haven't really seen any of these on cards in the sets we were playing with. We're playing with the base game mixed in with the winter expansion. Maybe in like one of the other expansions that uses these a little more. But these are not an action. You can just put these on a card for that round to give it an extra little red value so that the other player has to use more red tokens to raise it and blow it up. So if you're like really worried about a location, you can maybe, if you have abilities to produce these. Actually, I've seen one production location. I just didn't play it.
Oh, I've never.
And one of the games we played actually. But I had a way to produce these. I just didn't put it in play because I wasn't sure like how much you'd be attacking me. But now when I look back in that game, you did blow up one of my core locations. I could have every round been generating one of these and putting it on that important location, which would have made it harder for you. But then you would have probably just blown up this location first. And then it's still, but that's still extra resources. Yeah, it's still longer that you have that location out. Yeah, that's the only other thing I don't think I mentioned. And then in here, oh no, there's one other. Yeah. This is a wild surprise. You never guess. This is any colored arrow token. So it can be treated as gray, blue, or red. And there are a whole bunch of other tokens and card decks in the box from the Ultimate Edition. Oh yeah, there's our score tokens I forgot to mention for each player. And then there's these in case you run out of resources. You could just put a token on there to multiply it. Oh, crap. Yeah. And then in the box, yeah, there's a whole bunch of other expansions, and then I had some baggies with tokens depending on the expansion you're playing. So if you guys are interested in playing more expansions or trying them out on the channel, let me know. Hit the like button, share the video, all that stuff, because we might do it. We'll see. I am interested in trying at least one of them. Looked kind of interesting. When I was looking up this Ultimate, it like has kind of area control-ish kind of thing going on to it. I kind of want to try that one out. I forget what it was called, but we'll see. Maybe we'll try them out off stream and then pick one to stream or something. Okay. But yeah.
You want to roll first?
Sure. All right. So here's our 4 locations, our 4 factions or whatever. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll roll. I'm number 4.
I'm number 4.
I'll roll again so you get something that's not a 4.
Number 1.
All right. Well, these 2 out of the game. I'll put this kind of like here somewhere. I don't know. Something like that. Yeah, yours looks good. All right. So if you can grab the victory point, I need a gray victory point token on the track. If you can put that at like 47 and then put the yellow one at 0,
this is going to be also confusing because Rob usually plays yellow /
We can switch
orange.
if you want.
No. This is fine. But hopefully I don't move your token back. But I'll try to be clear on.
Yeah, don't accidentally move my token up on the track. Know, right? That would suck.
I'm sure the chat will yell and say, that's Rob's token.
Oh yeah, also in this edition, I don't know if this is normal editions, but this is our upgraded first player token that is not painted, obviously. So this is our, I will determine, oh yeah, we should just roll it again.
Let me know if you want to see a paint stream of me painting this. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
8-hour paint stream, painting this 1 miniature in the game, yeah.
3.
1, I'm first.
What?
Okay.
I'm 3. Oh, lower went first?
I just made that up to make me go first. Doesn't that work that way? No, I'm just saying you can go first. It's fine.
That's great.
1 is the first number. Isn't that how that works?
I didn't know what we've been doing. Just roll it.
I know, I'm just joking.
Just copy you.
All right, I'll just shuffle while we figure out what is next. So part of setup, we need to get, I think, 6 cards each. Yeah. Pick 4 of them to discard the other 2, right?
Yeah.
This is secretly, right?
Yeah. Do like that so
I should check though, as I don't want to miss anything in setup. I know I will, even though it's like super simple in the setup. I'm sure it's only like 3 things, but I always miss something. When you play like 10 different games in the span of like 2 weeks, it can get messy. Action board, play 0, 6 cards, discard 2, yep, and then determine who will be playing first. Oh yeah, that was after. Whoops, we did it backwards. Oh no!
I like all my cards.
Okay, can't keep them all though.
No.
I'm just looking because on each board, so example on Mel's board, her actions are slightly different income than my action. So she has a way to spend a brick to gain, what is that?
Spend a brick and discard 1 card to gain 2 gray tokens.
Okay, so that is different than mine, which is spend 1 gear to get 1 gray. You don't even spend gears at all. I do, but you produce brick and I don't. I produce gears.
And I don't.
Yeah. So like each faction is kind of tied to each one of the 4 main resources. So obviously me being gray with gears, I'm like really focused on gear production is like the thing I excel at. And Mel's is brick. So maybe you want to lean into the brick. Maybe you have, maybe you don't want to lean into the brick, for example, that kind of thing you got to think about. Doesn't mean you can't use the other resources in the game. There are ways to produce them and earn them and raise for them and stuff like that. And then also, depending on your starting hand, like maybe it's, yeah, I don't know.
I'll discard those. Yogi says, I'm sure the rule book is like, keep 4 cards, you dummy. I think it does say something like that.
Yeah.
Yogi, you're right. I do have better conversion of blue. I can spend 1 gas to gain 2 blue tokens, and he spends 2 gas to gain 2 blue tokens.
Yeah, so blue's not my jam.
Or you need more of it to produce the same thing I need less of.
Damn.
I do feel like this is a hard board, actually.
Well, I think I probably need to lean into like anything related to grays or reds, maybe, right? So like, I definitely want to smash your whole base to pieces. That's what I see what's happening.
Yeah, but you'll need other ways to gain reds because this one gun will only give you 2.
I see this.
Doesn't really do much.
I see this.
Yeah.
I
didn't love that board.
Yeah. Trying to figure out how to solve it. I'm not sure yet. I'm not sure if I have the tools. We'll have to see what we can do.
I'll struggle to get grays. Well, I have to spend a brick and a card to get 2. He needs to spend, but at least I can get 2 by doing that. He needs to spend 1 gear to get only 1. I find this board actually struggles more to get grays, I think, in playing them. But I guess, as you said, it's based on your cards.
Okay. So we're a little discard pile here. Okay. All right.
All right, so then we will go to lookout, which we've already flipped these over.
Yeah, so lookout, we got these 2 cards, which one of them is instant, gain 2 red tokens. One is gain 2 blue tokens. We got punks and merchants. Okay. And again, if nobody takes any of these, they have to clear at the end of the round. Got to remember that. And then draw 2 new ones. And if they're gone, we just draw 2 new ones. Okay, now we'll go to the lookout phase, which is fun. It's like a little snake draft. So we'll draw 3 cards that go into like a little market. We can look at them here on the screen first. And we do 2 rounds of this. So Mel is first, so she'll get first pick. I take the second one. The third one gets discarded. Then we draw 3 new ones. Then I get first pick. Mel gets second pick. Then we discard the last one. So this one is an open production building. Open production is something I didn't explain at the beginning, but I guess it's good now while it's here. Basically, open production means the opponent or an opponent at the table can place a worker on this location to gain that resource, the open production, so to gain a card. When someone does that, the card is used, it's 1 time per round. But I also, if this was my location, I would gain a worker for Mel using my open production location. And sometimes they have building bonuses, which when you build them, you just gain something. So this one's all focused on the card generation. The other location is a shipwreck. It's a spend a worker and a gear to gain 2 victory points. So nice little way if you're generating gears to turn them into victory points and little workers. Or if you just need some quick gears and victory points, might be nice. And then there's the scrap trader. Spend a gear to gain a victory point. Maybe activate it twice. And these are kind of cool. These activated twice ones. You could do them once on 1 action. You can activate it twice. Or you can use 2 actions to activate it once each time. Whenever you want. So if you're worried about someone like blowing it up or something, you could quickly, if you only had 1 gear, you can use it as an action. Or to buy time while you wait to see what your opponent does, you could like just do this action once. Put a gear on it, gain a victory point. Then wait, see what your opponent does. And then decide later whether you want to use it or not. So Mel gets first pick. And I get to watch her and breathe over her shoulder to give her pressure. Don't pick the wrong one.
I mean, I think there's 2 that are good.
They're all bad. Don't pick any.
So I guess talking out my decision, like I could take one of these to hate draft Rob, because like likely he's gonna want one of those. As you saw, he has the gear boards, right?
But there's
so that
2, so you can't get both.
So I can't. And this one though, like they both would only give you 2 victory points. This you spend less resources or more resources to do it. So this one's easier for you to do, right? Because you only have to spend a gear.
No, 1 for 1. So I would be spending 2 gears to get 2 points, or this 1 gear and 1. So it's 2 things for 2
just
points.
What's easier for you to gain. Sorry, you're right.
Well, I still gain workers, so like they're both like, yeah.
But then this one actually works well for me because my ability is like spend an action and card. So having more cards to be able to discard cards is helpful.
Yeah, and since this open production means on production phase, Mel will gain a card, but then also I could gain a card off it. And I could also blow it up later if I need a whole bunch of cards. So yeah, you should probably
deal with it to get cards. So like,
oh yeah, you could you could do the deal.
So there's a fun little balance here of like, do I take for myself or do I hate draft Rob? But I think I will play for myself, at least for the start. Take whatever you want there.
Okay. Have you played this faction before?
Maybe in our very, very first game.
I've never played this one, I don't think.
You played this one.
I have played that one.
But I played this one, and I think I played all the other ones.
Yeah, so we'll see.
So I may not play it correctly. I don't know. Jack, I'll see you later.
See you later, buddy. So now I get to pick out of these 2.
Kind of sucks, but.
I don't know. I guess this one, scrap trader maybe. I don't know. Not sure. Okay, that other one will get discarded. Now we get 3 new cards. So this one's a parking lot, which is a production where you get 1 gear for each gear type location, including itself in your state, up to 3. So if you really want to produce gears yourself, Mel, this is a way you could do it. But also you'd have to have other gear locations to really make this like more powerful. That's neat.
Yep.
Oh, here's a brick related thing. It's abandoned suburbs. It's an action. Oh, there's a 3 coster. So you could either like upgrade a location, like develop it to this, or just straight up build it. But it gives you an action to spend 2 brick to gain 2 victory points, maybe activate it twice. So this leans into like your production kind of line of play, I guess. if you need, you might already have something that does that and you don't care. Or maybe you're like, that's too early. I don't want to build big things like that. And this guy is, what the hell is going on here? The Gasoline Cultist. I've never seen this card. Actions. Spend a blue token to gain a victory point, maybe activated twice. So if you have a good, easy way to gain blue tokens, which I really don't, because I have to spend 2 gas cans for such things. Yeah, Mel only has to spend 1 gas can to gain 2 of those, right?
Yep.
Might be more your line of play, unless you're just, you know, like, I don't know. That's interesting. That's interesting. Or you could just, again, just spend it and get those by using red. Like, you don't even need to care what this says if you're just worried about this. Or the deal, if you just need, like, I need to make gas. You just, you know, that's all you care about for the card. It's like, you could do that. Which is neat. Oh, this is me first. I'm sitting here like, go ahead, but
nope.
Okay, wow.
Chaz has to go back to work. See you later. Thank you.
See you later, Chaz.
Never get to get work. That card just looks cool, so I just want to have it.
Sure. Okay, so the drafting happened.
Okay, so then we go to production. So this is where we will gather the resources that we have on our production boards, all we have right now.
3 black for workers. I gain a gray token. I gain this gray token. And, oh, and draw a card.
Same, please, if you'll draw me a card. Okay. And then I'm first. I will put my resources here so that you guys can see them and they're not messing with anything.
Oh, yeah, you can get rid of this.
Oh, yeah, because I'm going to have to put deals there.
Yeah, take it and go.
Okay. Okay. So I will start. Just give me 1 quick second here.
So basically, we're just going to take turns. Mel does an action. I do an action. We keep going until both of us pass. And then we clean up and do another round of what you just saw.
All right. So I will take the action on my board as my first action to spend 1 brick and discard a card. I just need to give you a card. Not that one, or that one.
Dan says, when, hey Dan, says, when is the expansion, the 52nd state, going to be announced? Yeah, anytime now. Anytime now.
I'll discard a card to gain 2 of these gray tokens.
I think since they got to the Ultimate Edition, that'll probably be just next box. They'll just change the 1 to a 2 on the front of the box and then try to do another game found, selling you the same game another time. Probably, I can expect that. So you just gave them their next idea. It's the 52nd state regular edition, which is the Ultimate Edition with a new number on the box from 51st state. All right.
Your turn.
Yep.
Cynthia, hello. How are you doing?
Hey, Cynthia.
Hope you had a good holidays. Sakabra, hello. Happy holidays to you.
Hello, hello.
Good holidays.
Okay. I will spend this gear. Oh yeah, I gotta put it on my board. I always forget that. I gotta put it here to say that I use this one-time ability to gain a gray token. Go ahead.
Alrighty. I think I am going to build a location, and I'm going to build this crossings, which is going to go into my feature section, cost 2 gray tokens. And this is a feature I may store any number of gray tokens on this location during the cleanup phase, take them back during your next production phase. It has a building bonus of 4 gray tokens when I build this. Okay. I can just store gray tokens there.
Oh, yes, yes, yes. I've played with this one before. That's a very nice card to start with.
Mm-hmm.
Damn. Okay. Let's spend 2 workers. Yeah, I guess I spend them there. And I'll gain the merchants. Go ahead.
How am I gonna do that? You don't have any yet. Okay. I think. I think I will spend 2 workers as my board action here to gain any 1 resource. And I think I will gain a gas. Go ahead.
Lots of choice. Good. All right, I will build a black fortress for 1. And that will give me production. I can take a gear or a gun. Let's go with a gun. Pew.
Okay. I will spend this gas to gain 2 blue tokens. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I wish I had this kind of stuff, but unfortunately, I didn't get that this game. I don't know if there was an option for it even. No. Okay. Interesting. Okay. So I guess I'll just play this to gain 2 blues.
Okay.
Go ahead.
All right, I'm going to spend 2 gray tokens to build a pub. And this is open production, so you can come here if you want. And this will give you a card. And so it gives me a card for the open production and then 1 for the building bonus.
Wow.
Oh, wow. That was lucky. I think it says that to play a card is an action.
Yeah. I already explained that, I thought.
Yeah, but I think Yogi was saying the instants are not, but
Yeah, it's right there. Take or play a connection card is an action.
Could be, I don't know, different rule book or something that it was not. But
yeah, maybe a different version. Yeah. But this one's an action to either take one or to play one. I just played one. Okay. Production. Yeah, that'll give me better options. I'll go there to take your open production of drawing a card, and that will get you a black worker.
Okay. I will make a deal for 2 blue tokens. I'll make a deal with the church.
Whoa, never make a deal with the church.
Give me a victory point. So this will give me a victory point right now, the 1. And then when I collect my open productions, I'll be able to collect that.
Let's see.
Hey, Greg.
Hello, Greg. Okay. I'll spend 1 blue, make a deal for a fuel.
Okay. I need to do this. I will spend 2 gray tokens to build a church in here, which has a building bonus of 2 victory points.
I will build a Merc outpost for 1 gray, which gives me the action I could use to spend any one of the 4 basic resources to gain 2 workers. Here we go.
I will do this now. Yeah. I'll spend 1 gray token to build a ruined library. This has a feature that I may store 3 of any of these resources and then take them back during the production phase.
Okay. I'll spend this blue to make a deal to buy a gun. Had enough. I see someone got a way better start than me. Or it's this faction is like,
I told you.
I don't know how
That's what I was saying yesterday.
Yeah, in a game about building locations and getting victory points for locations, only being able to generate 1 gray token, and I had no options to generate any other gray tokens presented to me.
Yep.
Feels bad, man.
That's exactly what I said to him yesterday when I played this board. I said the same thing. I said I felt like it was like location lock. I didn't have enough to build.
It's interesting.
But I don't know. Maybe there's a strategy to that game, this board that I didn't see either.
Yeah, I'm not sure yet.
Okay, I'm going to spend 2 workers to gain a resource, and I think I will gain... I think I will gain a gas.
Yeah, Amel's going to crush me based on what I've seen with like her faction and the things she's got a hold of. I've played that faction. Maybe it wasn't that exact faction, but I had like this location, that location, and a few others like early. And yeah, that leads to like almost a 50-point game if you can get that going. So like I definitely have to blow stuff up, but I don't see how I'm getting more than I can't get that anymore. Maybe I should have. And I can only generate 2 red tokens here, so I could maybe blow one of these things up, but do I care? I don't know. Probably, but who knows? I'm not sure. Again, we've only played this game a couple times, so I'm still like seeing new cards and learning, and I've never played this faction before, so I'm not sure how to make this work, but I'll see what I can do. But I feel like I haven't been presented with very great options. Okay, so I can't play any of these. I guess I could turn this into 2 red tokens is something I can do, I guess. Oh, I guess I can get that because I can get 2 workers here. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
That's okay. I will pass.
Oh, you're passing. Okay.
I'm passing.
So then I'm going to spend this gun on here to generate 2 workers. I forgot I had that down there. I don't play that. Okay. And then I can't interact with their stuff. So now even if I get enough red tokens, I can only use it to do things from cards from my hand versus interacting with Mel, unfortunately. And I can't save them up to the next round because I have no location to store anything on. So I can't just save them for a better time later. So Mel passing right now is like, damn it.
Sorry, I only had 1 gas
No,
left,
it's okay.
but I can save it. So
it's okay. You have gas. It's understandable. You want to take a break because you have some gas. I understand. It happens. It happens all the time. Okay.
I can see though playing this at 4 players or even more than 2 players, like when you pass, being very strategic, right? Even like these open production locations, like you may do things inefficiently on your turn because you want to get an open production before someone else does.
Yeah.
So I'm very, never mind. I'll save that for later.
Yeah. Yep. That's why I took it as soon as I thought of it. Washroom break?
No, I can save my gas.
So these 2 workers I could spend to gain a resource or a card, or I can spend them to, there was something else. To get one of these, which I don't have to use this turn. This I can store.
Yeah, you can store them.
And then I could get another one next turn, then have a whole bunch of red tokens, and then blow up your whole base.
You can, yeah.
Take my anger out on you. Which maybe is what I do. But then these other 2 here, I could probably just spend them to turn a card in my hand into resources. But if I can't use those resources right now, I know what I could do. Good, hold on. I could, so. This I need. This I need. These I don't need. Okay. I'm actually going to spend these 2 reds because I can't really do much else with them. I'm going to spend them on this to do the spoils. Kind of lame, but I'll just gain 2 victory points.
I mean, that's not lame if it comes down to that in the end.
It doesn't, yeah, maybe. 2 workers and a gas. Oh, yeah. So this. Do I want another card? A resource I can't really use, or do I just hold one of those? Probably just hold. That's the only one that generates 2. Yeah, I'll do it. I'll spend the 2 workers to gain the punks into my hand, I think. Because at least that'll carry over to the next round. So would a card, though, but a resource won't. So would that card be more valuable or the card I just took? Not sure. Not sure, but we'll go with that. I don't know, we'll just try that. I'm not sure how it's going to work out. But, and then I'll pass, because this gas I don't think I can do anything with, because I need 2 here, unfortunately, to get 2 blue, which is super sad, but that's just the way it is. And I have nowhere to store it. So cleanup phase, we get rid of all our excess resources. Anything that's on boards showing our one-time use actions all go away. We keep the cards in hand, though. And anything on storage locations that tell you about storing.
Yeah, this one I didn't have any great tokens left over.
Okay, yep. Then we pass the first player token. We replace these with 2 new cards. So we have Junk Train and Punks. Okay, let's do a little draft. Let's take some cards from some different decks here. Okay, first card, and this is me choosing first, so I got to think that way. Production produces a brick and an ammo, which can count as a brick, a gun, a gear, or a gas. Interesting. Courthouse. Oh, this is from the new expansion, the winter one we're using. Okay. Not new, it's probably an expansion from like 10 years ago, but an oil rig. Production for each oil location in your state, including itself. So it always will produce 1 oil or 1 gas or whatever. You could just make it a deal, or if you just need some quick gas. So I don't have any in my state.
I don't have any.
You don't have any, so that's something to think about. But like maybe you have some in hand, or maybe it works out. And then this is the negotiator. Cost 3, but you can spend a worker and discard one of your deals. I've had this before. Late in the game, if you have a whole bunch of deals here, you can start tossing them away. A couple of them, I guess, for victory points. You have to have the black workers to do it too. Interesting. I don't know. Which one? I don't have brick. I mean, producing a brick and a wild token could be good, but this does cost 2 to build, and I have trouble building things, and these are very expensive. And if I want to turn them into deals, because I like what's on the bottom, I have to have blue tokens. Again, my blue token production sucks. So I need gas to make that work. Unfortunately, I wish I built this thing as a producing gas location, so then I could have got 2 gas produced. But I didn't know I was going to see this. So I kind of already regret decisions made, because then I could start producing 2 gas, which will allow me to get blue tokens, which will allow me to make more deals. So this one I kind of out mentally. This one, again, if you're playing this competitively, don't talk out loud like this at the table, because the other players will totally take advantage. I'm doing it because you guys are watching, so just keep that in mind. That's not normally how you should play, but yeah, the other one here produces brick. I don't have a way to produce brick. Mel does, but the wild token could be helpful, because then I can kind of make flexible choices of like that ammo. I could spend it when I need a brick, or when I need another gear or a gun or an extra gas to make blue. Yeah, maybe that's just what I take. But then technically this one, if I could get 3 blue tokens somehow, I could maybe make a deal with this one so that I have a wild token that way. If I think this is, I don't want what's happening here. I don't know the best way to do this, but this technically would be a cheaper way to do that, but I don't have gray. I get 1 and then a gear for another. So literally I can only like build 1 building a turn. That costs 2. Building a 3 is like not possible for me right now. And again, I'm not presented with any way to improve my building. So I think it's between these two. A brick will help me start being able to develop, which saves me on costs of building bigger things, in theory, if I have the matching types. So maybe that's how I need to look at it. I need to make brick. Yeah, maybe then this is more important. Yeah, I'll take the courthouse, I guess. I don't know if that's the right play, but that's where I'm going. There's your options, Mel.
I think I'll just take the oil rig.
Yeah, the negotiator too. I could have used it just to get the spoils, right?
Even so, though, that's hard. 3 reds.
3 reds to just pop off. But I do need card options. I feel like my card options, I need cheap. Like, not every card works for me, like it does if you have higher resource generation, right? It's like you have more options, so like you don't have bad draws as much. Okay, and I'll draw 2 from here, 1 from here. That seemed to work okay. So this time Mel gets to pick first. Oh, there's another spoils. Thieves Caravan. Action. Spend 2 workers to take either 1 gun, 1 gas, 1 gear, or 1 brick from another player. Oh, no. That's the kind of stuff I'm looking for.
Oh no.
Although, how am I going to build this for 3? I have to I have to use my brick to build it, I guess.
I guess.
And I have to like wipe out a gun or an ammo location.
But you have 1 of each.
I do.
Oh gosh, but at least you don't have the brick to be able to do that yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
But I took a thing that produces it. I think I did.
Yeah,
yep.
You did. Oh god.
Get him. Oh, look at another combat vehicle.
Oh, this can give you the
shield.
The shield tokens.
So it's like more of a defensive card.
Or you can just get 3 shield tokens for spoils. Okay. Maybe. I know.
Yeah. If I get this one, if I buy the attacking one, Mel gets this one that defends. No, I'm just joking. And the final one is construction vehicles. Oh, it's all about the cars, I guess. Oh, no. You're picking, right?
Yeah.
No. See, talking out loud, she knows. She knows what I need. It's okay.
Like, obviously, I can use them as well. It's tough.
Yes, you can. Take whatever. I don't care. Crush me. It's fine. Show how unbalanced this game can be. In 2 players or whatever. Based on draws. There's luck. Yep.
Oh my god. At least though you take it. It's open production for me.
If I play it that way. Maybe I just blow it for this because I'm like, screw you, no open production for you.
True.
I wish it manufactured gray tokens also, because then maybe I could stuff it and then earn them that way, but it doesn't. It only generates gears.
Do I think
but take whatever, man. Crush me. I'm fine. It's more of a challenge. So if I can keep up with you, at least be close in victory points, I'll feel like I achieved something. If I beat you, man, you're never going to hear the end of it.
Oh my god.
So yeah, do what you got to do. Don't be nice. Oh, use your inner competitive Rob and crush me. Or at least try. I think Mel is immune to the couch emoji. Ha ha ha. There's a reason I didn't put somebody on the couch specifically.
It's a generic couch.
I want the couch to be more open so you can kind of envision anyone on that couch sleeping by themselves. Uncomfortably.
The funny thing is, like, I don't want that card. I want a different card.
Then take a different card. Do whatever. Every single one, when we've seen 3 options, I've always wanted to stop you from getting 2 of them, and I can only stop you from getting 1.
I know.
And that's the fun of this game.
But that's the point of, like, do I want to, again, do I want to hate draft Rob by taking this one, knowing that I'll like limit his actions? Sure, it'll help me too, because getting.
But I could just see another. I could draw another card in 2 seconds that does the same thing. Like that doesn't change.
Or
it, right?
do I want this stuff for myself? Like, I know he's gunning for my locations, and maybe there's specific locations
maybe I'm not.
That
maybe
I
I'm just
want.
blowing up stuff in my hand that's garbage.
Maybe, but I don't know. Because I don't think we talked about this too when we were talking about the game. But when we score points at the end, you get 1 victory point.
I did mention that.
Oh, you did? Okay.
That's part of the trying to blow past your opponent a little bit, and you can, it's like open information. Like, I know right now you're guaranteed 4 extra victory points on the last round of the game, based on what I see here, and I'm only guaranteed 2. So that's why there's jokes about you playing solo mode right now, because I'm like, looks like I'm falling behind big time. Oh. I probably am, but it feels like
you're only behind 1 point.
I have to take this, I think.
That's fine. It's open production for me, and I like that. So
I know.
I think it's a win-win, unless he's.
But even if I just pop it for this,
but that's more expensive. I don't know that he'll.
It only costs 1.
Yeah, true.
To just get to build something that's 2 for me.
Yeah, but would you not rather it consistent?
No, because you could blow this up whenever you want, and I lose access to all of this.
True, and then I get to.
Yeah, unless you're using it and I'm getting black worker and you leave it alone, then that's fine too. But then I'm also giving you an extra gray for 1 black token. That's like maybe too much. I don't know, but then I don't know. Yeah, I'll take that one. Even though this is awesome too.
I know.
Damn.
The spoils on that are decent as well.
Well, it's 3 costs though.
Yeah. I don't think
I mean, just building it to steal whatever I need from you.
Yeah, true.
Twice? Like, I literally just looking like, oh, what actions you need the tokens for? I'll steal those tokens before you use them.
Yeah, like you put that out and it's going to change the way I play and the way I spend things.
If I had a different faction right now or something better going on, I want this so bad. I want it so bad. I wish I wasn't short on building, but like, I want it so bad, but I can't take it. It's hurting me. It hurts to put that away. Because I didn't know that type of thing was in the game to be more like, take that. So automatically I'm like, okay, I like this game a little better now.
The rulebook did talk about 1 card like a scavengers or something for taking from players.
Oh,
but I
did not know that.
Seen it yet, so I don't.
And I'm surprised that's in the base set, actually, this kind of card. Do you think they would add that in expansion after players are a little more comfortable?
Yeah.
But, yeah, interesting.
Yeah, interesting.
Okay.
Okay. So
reserve time?
Yep.
All right. So 3 workers, 1 gray here, 1 gray token, 1 card, a gun and a gas, and then I could take a gear or a gun. I'll take a gear, I guess. Yeah, I don't know if that's the right play, but it's hard to make that decision right now.
This gives me 1 victory point. This gives me a card, so I'll take 2 cards, if you will.
What the hell,
1
man?
Here and 1 here. But you have way more resources generated, and then I get to take this one back as well. So I think you've done better in that.
We'll see. I got to use them, though. If I don't use them properly, they're gone at the end of the turn.
Oh, fun.
Okay, so I'm first action.
Interesting.
Well. Yep. I guess I'll spend a gear to gain a gray token. Surprise. Your turn.
I'll spend a gas to gain 2 blue tokens.
Let's spend 2 black workers. And I'll take the junk train.
Okay. I will spend a brick and discard a card to gain 2 gray tokens.
I will spend 2 gray tokens to make a courthouse, which will get me the production right away of a brick and an ammo.
Okay.
Not open production.
I see that.
Get your eyeballs off my juicy courthouse.
Really. Oh, I don't know what to do first here.
Pass. You should pass.
No. I'm not passing. I'm not passing. I'm not passing. I have 2 things. I just am trying to plan out things. Okay, I'm going to spend 2 gray tokens to play this radioactive fuel, which has an action. I can spend a worker and a gas to gain 2 victory points.
Spend a gun. Gain 2 red tokens.
I'll spend 2 workers to gain any 1 resource, and I'll get a gas.
I'll play the punks. Gain 2 red tokens.
Okay. I'll spend a worker and a gas to gain 2 points. Get out of my area. Get out of my state. Go ahead. I'm just kidding. This one does nothing. These 2 are the only ones that do anything. If you're looking at level 4.
I'll spend...
It was lurking in my space.
Yeah. Once I have some red tokens, it's like I could spend them on stuff in my hand, or I can start shooting over there.
Mike.
Yeah. Let's do it. I need to. I'm gonna spend 3 of these bad boys.
Oh.
And I'm gonna blow up this location, which gains me 3 cards.
And me 1.
And you 1 for the deal thing on the bottom. And now this is a raised ruin, whatever location. So Mel can use bricks or whatever to upgrade it to whatever. And now she no longer has that card. Anything on the front doesn't matter anymore.
That was you, right? My turn. Okay. Okay, let's spend 2 blue tokens to make a deal so then I can generate gas.
Mm-hmm. Play the junk train. Gain 3 blues. Go ahead.
I will pass.
Whoa.
I can save this.
Oh, okay. All right. Interesting. Interesting.
Oh yes, Yogi, thank you. Yes, I do gain that gas when I made the deal that I forgot.
Does he still want to pass?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can save that too.
Great.
Yogi, thank you. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Joe, hello. So hey everyone, happy Friday. Rushed home from work to catch the stream.
Very
Awesome,
nice. Hello.
awesome. Happy Friday.
Hello. Hmm. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, take your time.
Yeah, it's tough. I just gotta think like what I want to make deals with for future turns. Will I be able to play locations where I can spend those things? I also activate right now these things. This I should have played this turn, but instead I valued this. Now I'm regretting it a bit. So I think I just spend a red to get the spoils off this, unfortunately. Because I goofed up, I think. So that'll just get me 2 gray tokens. So again, I'm gonna have building problems, but whatever. It still would have gave you extra buildings, so I still would fall behind. Okay, and then do this one. Hey, I have to dig and waste all these resources for cards that are useless just to try to find something like that, and I can't even use it the way I wanted to. Okay. Build this. Yeah, let me build 8 Mile. You know, because I'm a fan of Eminem and everything, so it makes sense. So I could spend. It's like a stupid, silly card for victory points because it's like so specific. But I do have wilds, and I'm pretty sure ammo can be used as like any one of these ones, not the worker though.
Yeah.
So I think I should, because I do have a way to make wilds, but like Mel might make it so I don't have a way to make wilds. So this is like very much putting myself out there, and I don't think it's a smart play, but it's like I'm very limited here. And I have the stuff now, so I figure I can at least fire it off once, but it's not the real way to do it, I think. So that's built. Oh, I know what I could have done. Upgraded. Oh, I'm an idiot. Yeah, rewind. I forgot about a brick I have. Yeah, I'm dumb. Watch this.
So you wouldn't have that.
Yeah, I wouldn't have this. That was this back to hand. What did I spend to do this? A red. That's what I was trying to get. Okay, so I could replace this with it. Again, but it gives you this stuff too.
Not this round because I passed.
True, yeah, but still. So using a brick for like a 1 cost location kind of shows you how desperate I am. But I'll spend this brick unless there was like, I guess that's a cheap location. Yeah, that's fine. And I'll develop this location into this location because they share an icon. That will give me 2 great tokens because of production and building bonus.
That'll give you a victory point.
This one's gone out of my place, which sucks that I now lost that production and victory point later, but I do have a way to produce gun already. I have a way to produce gear, so I mean it's not the end of the world. But yeah, it would have been nicer if this was like a juicy 3 cost location that did something cooler that I was upgrading a level 1 from or something. I'd feel like I was doing it better, but okay. So that's interesting. I forgot about that little aspect of the game. Well, technically, I still have that to use. Quick gas gear worker are all here. That could be used for that location. But I could also gain. Yeah, I guess I'll build 8 Mile. Okay. And then the blues. What do we want to build with the blues? What is the resource we're looking for? I really have 2 options. Okay, let's spend. Let's spend 3 blues to make a brick deal. Yeah, I think I'm slow playing this. It feels like because I drew way too many card options.
That's okay.
But normally, like the cards I have in hand, I've like picked and they're very like have a purpose. But because I was like blind drawing like 3 cards, I'm like digging for stuff, and I have way too many options to choose from every time to play an action. But I'm trying to be careful and not like be wasteful either, because I feel like I have less chance to make mistakes. Okay, and then oh, I got 1 red. I can't use this right now. So I could just spend some of this for victory points. Yeah, I'll spend this brick to gain 2 workers. And then, or should I actually not spend the brick? I'm going to spend, I guess, the gas. A wild, so I guess it doesn't matter. And let's. Why does none of this match? It doesn't. Okay. Then we'll just spend. Let's spend these 2 workers just to draw a card, I guess. That's lame, but I'm like hurt, man. I need to find stuff. No, it's not the stuff I needed. Not even close. It's exact same as like multiple cards I have in hand. Okay, then I'll just spend these 4 resources, which I think is what I need here. Gear, brick, worker, and we'll pretend this is gas to gain 3 victory points.
We're tied.
Great. And then that red token's not doing anything for me, so I think I will pass.
Good.
Clear this away.
Right, these I can save.
Draw 2 new ones of these. This is gone. These are all gone. Oi, oi, oi. Oops. There's a worker in there. I can't grab for some reason. Okay.
Okay, this one has to me.
Oh, yeah. And the new draft, right?
Yep.
Is your first card is Storehouse. Produce gas or a gun. Your choice.
Okay.
Only cost 1. Nice. Spoils. This is Black Market. Or sorry, Black Market is the title of the card, not spoils. Oh, it's one of those crazy ones where you gotta spend one of 4 different things to get 3 victory points, but maybe activate it twice. And Dark Visions Gang. Feature, if during the production phase you gain at least 1 gun, you get 1 red token. It's all about aggression. Yogi, thank you for gifting 5 memberships to the channel.
Thank you so much.
Too generous, my friend. Too generous. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Yogi. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. I think I might need that just for that. I think I actually need this Black Market. Thanks, Yogi.
Thank you so much. Oh, Black Market you took?
Yeah.
Okay. Do I produce a gun? I do produce a gun. So technically if I had that, I get a red token. Is that what I need? I don't, probably not. Maybe. Feature. Or I just find a way to get another gas to help me with my problems of lack of gas. I need more gas. Sure. It's cheap. I might be able to build it. All right.
This is you.
Thanks again, Yogi. All right, here we go. We got the gun shop. 3 costs. Jeez Louise. Open production on guns with the assassin. Man, today's playthrough is gun themed, it seems. And landfill. Card is trash. And I'll take it.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think so. All right, I literally can't have tons of cards that
I don't have
literally every card I'm holding in hand almost has this gun symbol on it. So it's like,
I have a gun, so maybe I should gain a gun.
I don't know. Sure.
I don't need that one because that'll take me too long to get that going.
Oh, you get just a fat stack of, for 3 red tokens, you can get a bunch of guns.
Yeah, but I need guns to even get red tokens, and I'm lacking the guns. Okay, and then production. So I'm gonna gain 3 workers, a brick, a gray token, a victory point, a gas, a card, please. And then I can take back these.
I'll take 3 workers, a gray, a gear, a card. I'll take from this one. Oh, that's kind of cool, but useless for me. Then I'll gain a brick, a gun, and a gas. And then I'll gain a brick, ammo, and a gray token. Okay. I have never had hold this many cards in this game in my hand. This is crazy. I took way too many cards. I think it was wasteful, but hopefully it helps. We'll see. Need some new blood.
Okay. Oh, man, I'm getting nervous here, but
You should be.
you're not that far behind me, so it's very scary. Like,
Yeah, whatever.
okay. I think I'm going to start by spending this brick to develop out this ruin for this one, which I just took, I think, which can give me a, so that's discarded. And this can give me a gun and an ammo token. And this will give me a victory point for the development.
Uh, Jesus, way too many cards. Okay, I will. That would be cool. I'll spend 2 to build this trash card called the landfill. And gain 2 ammos, 1 for building bonus, 1 for production.
Okay. I will spend a worker and a gas to gain 2 victory points.
Great. Happy to hear it.
In production, you just have 1, right?
Yeah, open production, I have a great token here you can take.
Okay.
I'll spend a gear to gain a great token. Go ahead.
I will spend this ammo token as if it were a brick, and I will discard a card. I think I don't need this one anymore. Yeah, I don't need this card, so I'll discard that one to gain 2 gray tokens.
I'll build a storehouse to gain a gas.
Okay, I'll spend 2 gray tokens to build the gasoline cultist, which is an action to spend 2 blue token or spend a blue token to gain a victory point. And I can activate it twice.
Okay. Two workers. Gain the merchants.
I'll spend this gas to gain 2 blue tokens.
I'll spend the merchants to gain 2 blue tokens. Go ahead.
Okay. I'll trigger my gasoline cultist, and I can trigger it twice. So spend 1 to gain 1 and 1 to gain 1. So I gain 2. Go ahead.
Okay. I'll spend these 2 blues to make a deal to gain a worker.
Okay. I'll spend 2 grays for this wreck tank, which is a feature, and it has a building bonus 1 victory point for each of these green symbols to a max of 5, but I only have 2. I was holding that waiting for more, but I don't think it's gonna happen. So
draw.
yeah, I know.
You should just use your production to draw. Oh, never mind.
Yeah,
That's gone. Where did that go?
And now I don't have any other card drawaways.
Okay. Hmm. All right. Let's spend. Hmm. Two workers. To gain punks. Go ahead.
Well, I think I just spend these. I spend a worker to go to your production, open production, to gain one of these. Great token.
I get a worker. Thanks. I will spend. I think a gun to gain 2 red tokens. Go ahead.
I actually think I pass. I can save this and this. I can't do anything with this one worker. Yeah, I'm gonna pass.
Okay. You want to take a half-hour break while I finish my turn?
Yeah, take your time. Take your time.
Okay. No, I probably don't have that
I
much
have less
to do.
resources to work with, so my turns usually are.
No, that's what I'm trying to be careful because I might overspend and I still want to trigger some points down here. But it's like I keep having to look over and like, do you have red tokens to blow these up? Nope, not yet. Okay, so don't have to use
Well,
them
I can only gain 2, and then yeah.
Well, you might have cards in hand that you could
I know.
spoils and then get more and like I don't know.
I know.
Okay, so I will spend 2 gas. I get 2 blues. 2 blues would lead to be a brick. 2 red gave me a couple bricks. I'm just gonna put this here for a sec, just to envision. Oh, I need gears. These count as gears then. So in that case, this is the one. I'm gonna spend any brick. If I spend brick, these become gears. If I spend gears, they become brick. Yeah. All right. I'll spend these 2 reds to spoil this card to gain 2 brick and a victory point. I'll play punks, gain 2 reds, so I'll clear cards out of my hand, I guess. And this will gain me 2. I'll spend to spoil this out of here. I keep thinking I'm going to play this card, but it just is not happening. Yeah, to gain 2 gears and a card. I guess I should have done that one first because then I might have seen card options, but I did what I did. This one. Nope, that's okay. Okay. Junk. All right. Then I'll spend. Let's do a brick here to gain 2 workers. And then we'll spend 2 workers. Oh, technically I spend the 2 gas to generate something. Okay, hold on. So these could be gas. So gas. Sorry guys, envisioning what these wilds are and what they need to be and what I can do with the other ones is killing me. 2 gears. So that would be satisfying all this if these counted as gas, because I could spend these gas to generate 2 blues, I think. Just try not to be wasteful. These 2 blues can then turn one of these into something. Oh, I see. Okay. Gaining a gun. If I gain a gun, that could be reds. Gun for that instead. Sure. Where was that? Blues. Yeah. Blues. I'll tuck this under to generate another gun. Okay. Then I'll spend all this jazz on here to activate this twice. That's 6 victory points. And then got wild stuff I can do here, I guess. So I could do 2 brick upgrades, which maybe is a play. Maybe. I hurt my production. I mean, I'm kind of okay with that. So I could replace a gun. Like I told you guys, I'm not joking. Like every card, every card I've drawn and pulled, it all has guns. These all the ones I tucked are all guns. Guns, 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 guns. Yeah, guns everywhere. Guns, guns, guns. So it's like I kind of don't have as many options as I like. So it's like, which one do I pick to put into play? If I spend the brick to upgrade this, and I would put one of these in. And then if I'm thinking short term, I have a worker and a gun to spend, or a worker and a gun to spend. Which one of these 2 should I choose? Keep drawing duplicates. Okay, so I will develop destroying this one and making this one. That'll get me a victory point.
Yep.
And then I'll do the action on this one. Because it doesn't matter which one I spend. It could be this, whatever. To gain 2 victory points. And then all that's left over is a wild resource that I don't think I could have spent anywhere. So there you go, done. Pass.
Done? Alrighty.
Need guns to defend my state? Oh, is that how that works?
Save this here and this here. That gets wasted.
Alrighty.
Okay. To you. I need more production places. Like that's where I'm lacking.
Oh, you need me to blow that one up, you're saying?
I have like nothing.
That's your weakness? Yeah. I will exploit it.
Yep.
I'm first now?
Yes, you are first now.
These will get new cards. Junk Train and Punks again. Very creative. Very, lots of choice in these decks. Like literally the same cards over and over again. But...
Drafting?
Drafting. all the discarding.
And this is Rob choosing first.
Cool. Looks like a fun place. So this is a cheap way to get workers, it looks like. Which makes sense. Child labor. So it all makes sense, right? Oh, another way. The boiler room. A little more pricey, but that's where the harder workers are hiding. Open production of 2 workers. I don't know if I'd want this in my little property. That's an interesting one. And the demolition team. Oh, there's the wild build one, the construction logo that I like so much. But I've yet to see. What is that? What I need right now. If during the production phase you gain at least 1 brick, which I do, I would additionally gain that. But this would cost 2 to build. And are we kind of late game to be building stuff to help multiple production phases? Is that kind of a waste? Or dealing it? Or maybe just the spoils make sense? I don't know. I don't know which one. These are not singing to me. None of these are what I'm looking for, really. I guess workers could turn into... these are like, at least can turn into other things, like other resources and cards. And technically building a cheap location would be another point. Kind of, I think that way. Also got to look at symbols. Could I overbuild these onto something else, like develop them up? Yeah, I could get rid of this and turn this into this, but then this only counts during production anyway. So that's kind of dumb. Man. Yeah, maybe just the cheap worker possibility of this might be the thing. Boiler room sounds fun though too. I don't know, these are all not what I'm looking for, I don't think, but I'll just take the school.
I'll take boiler room.
Yeah, if you can build the boiler room, I'll use it.
It's not open. Oh, it is.
Yep.
Oh, it is.
I took the one that's not.
Oh,
Just kidding. All right. Yeah, yeah.
Me?
Huge machinery, hideout, or craftsman guild. Huge machinery.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, where the hell were you, huge machinery, when I needed you earlier to turn my gears I auto-generate and my workers I generate into building possibilities? Imagine the beginning of my game if I had this. I could play and build things. It would be amazing. Here you are.
You are winning, so...
Technically. A hideout. Discard one of your deals. Ooh, I have deals. That could help me later to pitch deals to just gain some cheeky victory points late in the game. Try to, on the last turn especially. But again, I have to build that location. Or some production of just gaining brick and gears. Or brick or gears, sorry, brick or gears. Like his little thing going on there. It's this metal hand or something.
I would like this one.
Yeah, if I had machinery at the beginning, definitely would have blown it up. Yeah. Yeah, I knew you'd take that one because that's the one I would take.
Oh, it's got points on it. All over it.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. But like, it definitely would have benefited more probably for them than you, but it's okay. And a worker and a gear. Like, do I just take this anyway to help me build? Probably. Yep. Even if it's only a little bit. Yeah, Mel would have blown that machinery up for sure if she saw that. And then I'll gain my stuff. 3 workers, a gray token, a gear, and a card. I'm taking from this one this time. Okay, not bad. All right. Then I'll gain stuff from here. 2 guns, another worker, a brick, and a gasolina. Then from here, a brick, an ammo, a gray token, and this is 1 ammo. Go ahead.
3 workers.
Joe Jones says team out for the win, and Rob says Joe is banned from chat.
Oh no!
I'm just kidding.
And that. And
Get out!
I get a gun and an ammo.
Get out!
And then I get these back, and if you'll pass me a card. I don't have enough resource generation.
Oh, that's too bad. Yeah, but if your resources are like very finely put into victory points that waste, like imagine how many resources I put into just loading my hand with cards that I can't even use.
True.
You know, and like burning them for things that maybe aren't paying off. Like maybe I only get a couple of uses out of those cards when if I just had like I need to make this stuff into points, and if not, it's all useless at the end of the game. And to make it into points, I need to get it into play, or get it into resources that help get stuff into play, or just earn me victory points off actions and things. I feel is the play.
Calling out the Joes. Hashtag Team. Yes, Team Joes are behind me. Oh, okay, you're first.
Who let all these Joes in here?
I did.
Who let them all in? Close the door.
Oh, what am I doing? Definitely this.
So I'm first, eh? Well, where are we at? I'm gray and I'm at 16.
16 to 15 for Rob.
Okay.
Hmm.
I think I'll spend 2 workers. Game pumped.
Oh, that was going for a second.
It's going to protect me, I think.
Yeah, that's
I got to play defensive now, I think.
Yeah, that's huge. Okay, so now we're not having that.
Also helps me get rid of cards out of my hand and turn them into resources, I feel, if I have more red arrow tokens. So it looks good. You can generate 2 red tokens with 1 gun, but that shouldn't be enough to hurt me, but maybe of other ways.
All right, let's start with
Hey, Brian.
Oh, way to get that.
Captain America shield for my test. Edward says, I think I enjoy this game better with 3 or 4 players, but 2 is still fun. Edward, I do want to play with some more players. It just didn't line up with teaching Kyle. It's for the stream purposes, but I think I know 2 other players we can definitely play this with that we'll like playing this kind of competitive mess with each other stuff. And it would be a bloodbath, I think. Because a couple of those players, they you can poke them, you know, do one thing to screw them over, and they will never let down the rest of the game, even if it ruins their whole strategy. They will do whatever it takes to like tank you.
Yeah.
Which can be fun to set off the chaos at the table and just watch the world burn. Okay. So yeah, I can see the fun in that situation.
Spending a gun for 2 red tokens.
Oh yeah.
That. And that's just that.
Do
I even do that?
I'll also spend a gun for 2 red tokens.
Okay. I'll spend my 2 red tokens just for the spoils of this card.
Oh, that's not where I thought that was going.
2 victory points. Well, you took the other card, so it changed everything I was going to do.
I'll play the punks for 2 red tokens. Go ahead.
Okay. And that. I'll spend this gas for 2 blue tokens.
I will spend. Spend one gray token here to build a school, which will give me one worker and another worker, one for a production and one for a building bonus. Go ahead.
I can activate this twice, so spend one to gain a victory point, and I'll do it twice.
Okay. Let's go. I'll spend one gray token to build a huge machinery. Go ahead.
Okay. I'll spend 2 gray tokens to play the black market, where I can spend a worker, a brick, a gear, and a gun to gain 3 points. Maybe activated twice.
All right, I'm going to. This is 2 gas. Here. Worker, brick. That's the way we want to go. Sure. I'll trigger 8 Mile.
For 6 points?
For 6 points, please.
You're at 22.
Ooh.
So then in that case...
Ooh, is it going to be the last round?
I'll do...
If I get 3 more victory points, it is. But then we add up Mel's location points, which might be too many. So maybe I don't want it to end right now.
Okay, so I'll do this one where I can spend a worker, a brick, a gun, and I'll say this ammo is a gear. Get 3 points. 1, 2, 3.
And she's tied. Interesting. So right now, what, I have 8 points here. You have 8 also?
1,
Is
2,
that right?
3, 4, 5, 6,
Oh, we're
7,
tied.
yeah.
It looks like you have way more locations than me.
Oh, just the placement of them.
Because I got a big fat empty feature spot here, I guess. You're running lower on resources than me.
Yeah.
Maybe I do try to push here. I don't know if I can even actually. Maybe if I... This can get me 2. Oh, technically I sneak some out of there. Interesting. I don't know why I played this. Not sure. Yeah, that may have messed it up. Okay. So it's my turn, right? Okay.
One shy. Dang it. No, runes don't count for endgame scoring, no.
Nope. Yeah, I don't know what I was doing building that. But I'll just blow this one up, or spoils it or whatever. Raise it. 2 gray tokens. Go ahead. I do have 1 open production.
No, I was just looking at what will happen.
Oh.
Based on that, but you might have something else in your hand. I mean, that's 1v1, so that both these decisions I'm talking about give me 1 point, so I don't think it matters.
Could be down to 1 point.
No, but like both give me only 1, so
Oh, I see.
I don't know, but I just don't know which the best is.
You can just pass.
Not yet. Oh, this is what I do. Nope, that can't work. Can't work. Might not be smart. I don't know. If he uses that worker to get the win, that'll suck.
I'll use the worker and a gun to gain 2 victory points. Go ahead.
Probably. I'll just play this location for 1.
I will play the shadow for 2.
Got it.
Go ahead.
They pass.
I'll use the action on shadow to spend a red token. I'll do it twice to gain 2 victory points total.
Yep, so this is the last round.
So I have now triggered that this is the final action phase. And I don't think there's a way. I could spend these 2. No, I think I'm short. I don't think it matters, but I could spend. No, I don't have a way. Oh, no, I did the gun already. I think I can gain a gear and play one more thing, actually. So I'll spend those 2 to gain a gear. I'll spend the gear to gain 2 more workers. I'll spend the 2 workers. No, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just messing around.
You already won anyway.
I know, I'm just trolling. Oh yeah, the gear, sorry. Yeah, 2 workers again to gain a new gear. But then the gear I'll use on this action to gain a token. I'm just being an ass. And I'll spend this one to build this one that I was saving to be defensive if you were trying to go after me. I was gonna use this to either like use the red token to make 3 shields and just like during my turn just slap them on the ones that are important to me. But then I saw like as long as you can't make red tokens,
no,
okay.
I cannot.
But I was holding this like for many rounds scared, like using this defensively in my mind. I was like, I have this to protect this if I need. No. And yeah, so this wire entanglement will go in. I gain 2 police shields, and then I'll put definitely 1 on 8 Mile. Because I gotta protect what's good and the landfill. I don't want you stopping my garbage production. Yeah, and then that is that. No resources left. Look at that. Although this one I couldn't use. I thought I would have what I need for it, but it didn't. Okay, then we just add a victory points. So I have 10 more.
I have 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and you have 10. You are the winner.
Boom. And I only have 1 card left in hand. Just this one, this duplicate that I like kept as an option if I needed to make more guns and workers. I was debating like popping this in, and I kind of wasted resources. I could have done stuff a little differently, but I had a few paths there at the end to make sure that nothing was left in my resources, so it all could be turned to victory points or held till next round. And then I need to be able to make as many points as possible because I feel like you would have kept up with me. And then I don't have the advantage, but I needed to be very careful to cut you off. Because even next round, you could like still have gone a whole bunch. You were always toe to toe with me.
Well, my problem that I was having was 1, I had a very bad lack of red tokens. Like nothing gave me red tokens, even spoils, like nothing. I could only generate 2. You took that one
Yeah.
at the start of this round, which was going to be very helpful for me.
If you weren't going to go after your stuff, oh no, I would have had to spend red to get these. Yeah, I was thinking of a way where, like, could I get to 5 and blow up one of your victory point locations to stop you at the finish line to allow me to go across the finish line? I was trying to line up something like that, but I needed like more. I know there's one. Yeah, these ones.
Oh, the ones
I needed one of
3.
Yeah, I needed one of these to show up.
I was hoping,
but they didn't, so that I could get 3 using a gun, and then I would have the 5 I needed to blow up one of your victory pointers, because that would stop you from getting the victory points on it, choke up some of your resources, and stop you from getting an extra victory point at the end of the game for another location. But it could have let you just easily develop anything in your hand, get a victory point from covering it over.
Yeah, the other problem I was having was production. I had nothing that was production till that very last one with the workers. Like, nothing was giving me extra resources to be able, like, I had a ton of these action cards where I can spend resources to generate points, but I didn't have the resources.
Yeah.
So I was like running into resource trouble.
Kenneth's saying, great game. Is it a steep learning curve? No. The learning to this game, it's very basic. This game's rule book could probably be like 4 pages, minus all the fluff and the giant text and the bad examples. It is a very simple game to learn. This game is very simple. It's the strategy and the replays and learning what is possible from all the cards in the game. And again, you can slide in expansions and stuff to spice it up and change the card pool if players get too used to it. Also, the 4 different factions, slightly different in what their economy is. So learning how to work with what you see in cards and what the factions have and what the players at the table are doing, that's where the depth is. Easy to learn. A little harder to master, I would say. But if you play any kind of resource management in any of your board gaming of trying to make sure you're efficient with every ingredient you have, making sure everything goes to use to generate you some kind of victory point, it basically becomes kind of like a point salad-ish kind of little engine builder, I would say. But yeah, that's what took me. It took me at least 1 game to figure that out. The first game, I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't know how often certain things were going to show up. I didn't know if drawing cards was a dumb thing to do because I may never see what I'm looking for. So like you learn with a lot of these Euro games, it's just, you're presented with stuff, make it work. And the choices you have, try to grab choices that at least will help you make the other junk you have work. Sometimes you get lucky and everything shows up in front of you. It's the puzzle pieces just fit and there's a straight line of play. And I had that happen the last time we played where it's like, wow, 4 of these 6 cards like all work together perfect. I have a card to play early to help pay off for this card later, and I'll start creating a point engine right away. But it's not always that easy. But the beauty of it is you do have the option to disrupt your opponent. So if they're kind of getting ahead or have their synergy work together, I like, the light bulb went off a couple turns in this game where I went, if I can just disrupt you a little bit, I maybe can buy my time while I try to build up a hand so that you don't rush to the 25 points. And I needed a longer game with more turns to try to find pieces to make them work. But all I did was try to turn everything I had into something and have no waste. That's what I figured out in the second time we played. That's the mentality I took. And I had nothing left all the time. I was just trying to make sure everything was working into something. Obviously, if you have storage locations where you can store stuff till the next turn, that feels like cheating.
But they work only if you have resources you can store there.
I understand that. And I learned that when I played with them before. It was like, unless you're overproducing.
Yeah.
But the beauty of it though, is that sweet timing of when a turn is going to end and you're almost at the 25 and then you store a bunch of stuff to like fire off early victory points before your opponent can stop you.
Yeah.
It's all about timing, but how I pulled it out there, I knew I was from behind. I knew it wasn't so obvious, and like not being able to build locations feels bad. So I just leaned into making sure I had more red arrow tokens or whatever they're called, connection tokens, to make sure that everything I was using didn't go to waste. So I was just spending them from hand to generate resources, but I was trying to be very specific to only generate resources on cards that I couldn't use later. So it's like, if I'm getting rid of this card, I have to make sure the card I'm playing can use those resources because I have nowhere to store them.
Yeah.
So it wasn't as simple as like, just get them out of my hand and turn them into something. It's like, no, I need the specific cards to line up all these 12 cards I have. Which ones are going to be used for this? Which one's going to be used for that? And which ones are going to be used to turn that into this? And like, so that I have a nice little board after everything is used, and it just all points out to victory points. But I like literally, if I didn't end it here, I don't know if I would have won for sure. But it also, who knows what we would have saw next. But I knew I could win. I thought for sure I had the win when, I don't know where that card went, but the one you hate drafted from me, yeah, this one, you jerk, and you didn't even use it.
I use it just for the victory points.
When I saw this card, because I saw one of these earlier, I think, that I couldn't get or something. I don't know. Maybe it was last game I played. But this card, when you're going deal heavy, I will only go deal heavy when I have one of these and I know it's possible. But the fact that one came up and you took it, I was like,
well, I had to, because I'm like, it's only a card with victory points on it, and I knew that that's the only way I could outrun him. Like he has the resources I don't have,
which is
so
part of
I
the
have
fun.
to try to go for victory points on everything I play, which is what I was trying to do. But yeah.
And I had all my eggs in one basket kind of strategy, I felt, and you could have easily disrupted it very well.
Well, I needed one of those threes to come up because I could only get 2 and 2 every time.
But I would have tried to grab that first. But again, I can only go first every other turn. So it's like, okay, like, but yeah, if I could have got this, and when I saw it, I was like, oh, if you don't grab that, I know I can come back and like, or like get ahead far enough.
Yeah, because that could have given you 4 points.
2 points, every turn, yeah, and just get rid of these. But I gotta make sure I get rid of the right ones so that I don't like stop this little thing I got going in here.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a cool little game. It's cool playing with this faction. I was upset when I got it because I've seen it's a little rough, but I tried to make it work, and it worked out. But yeah, that was neat. Yeah, I was surprised by that. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, definitely having these ammo tokens, like, that helps, like, with the flexibility to make some of these crazy things happen.
Especially when you have these, right? Because then you can vary up what you're doing based on.
I can spend them for other things. And yeah, it was neat. Neat. Rob State hoarded all the resources.
I know he did. I literally had one. Like, he blew up one. I did have a card resource, which maybe him blowing that up was what actually lost it for me, because being able to draw an extra card each turn could have given me what I needed. I don't know. Yeah, I had no resources.
Oh. So, Mel, what are your thoughts on this game now after whatever 3 or 4 plays we've had of only playing 2-player, though? We played two games, I think, with the base set. We've played 2 games now with the winter expansion. The winter expansion just adds more of the same. I don't think it really changes up the feel of the game at all.
Yeah.
It just adds probably a few more advanced cards and uses some of these wild tokens a bit more.
Yeah, I think this is, as you said, a fun little game. Like, there is a game here of managing your resources that takes a little bit to kind of get used to. As Rob said, like, the first time we played, we were kind of just playing things, not really realizing, like, if we would even be able to trigger them. And, you know, you play some of these action cards where you can spend workers and resources to gain points. But then if you don't have enough of those resources to then get those points, you've wasted resources. So I think that that's cool as you learn the game. And I like that there is expansion modules so that when you do get bored of playing with the cards or you're seeing them often, I mean, the deck is huge, but some of these cards we have seen before, as we were saying. I am very curious to play this with more players. I feel like this game actually would shine with more players because of like the open productions of things and knowing when to take those from other players. Like, if you need something, if somebody has that in an open production, you need to grab that before someone else takes it, because only one person can use it. So I think that'll be really interesting. I do think the game is short. Would you say, like, it usually ends in about 4 or 5, like 5 rounds max, I feel like, is what we ever usually play.
I think that's one of the beauties of it, and I was going to say that for when I was talking about it.
Sorry, yeah.
But you mentioned it's great. I should always mention this. We've been streaming for like almost 3 hours. Not playing on stream, not teaching it, not explaining every turn, not showing you guys every option. When Mel and I are just playing quietly, 2 players, we blast this game out in like 20 minutes.
Yeah, it's very quick.
It is so fast. Like, you're just like, I'll do this, you do that. I'll do this, you do that. You're not even talking to each other, basically. Playing in your own little worlds and just, you know, I'll take your production, gain a worker, blah, blah, blah. Okay, done. Clean up, pass, next.
Which I kind of like.
Yeah, it's very quick. It's very quick. Obviously, I'm playing on stream from behind. I slowed down. I took my time. I was explaining everything I was doing. But normally I wouldn't do that. I would just be very quick. So I want you guys to understand, the longer, quote unquote, longer stream, this is not normally like a 3-hour game. Okay, I hope not everyone's here has been around the channel long enough to know, like, we like explaining everything. We like chatting with the chat and taking breaks, all that kind of stuff. So please don't judge the length of the stream as this is a big, long, epic game. It is not. It's a quick, dirty little game. Easy setup, easy teardown. Doesn't take up a lot of table space. Comes with a nice little insert in this version, I guess. I like it.
Yeah, so then, what was I gonna say? So the other thing I like about this game, or at least the one that we got, is that we do have the options for expansions in the box, which is kind of cool. So I'm curious to try out some of those and see what different variations they do. I have not read anything about any of the expansions, so I'm not sure what.
Yeah, so if there's expansions, like this No Man's Land one I saw, it was the new one on the crowdfunding, and this one people are saying we're looking at. It adds like a little board kind of built of cards that you're like fighting over.
Yeah, which I think is neat.
Yeah, and like it's like area control added to the game. So you can increase the complexity, increase the length of the game by picking a different expansion. To think of it as like the base game's like a console and you can slide in a different cartridge. Yeah, remember when games came on cartridges? Technically they still do on the Switch and stuff, but yeah, so we just put in the winter cartridge, which is just more cards in the deck to add variation.
But they just do the same.
But they do more of the same thing. Yeah. Same with the new era. But there is like No Man's Land, which adds a whole new board and fighting over that and things. I don't know Moloch. I don't know what this is. There's machines. Something about machines, which I don't know yet. I've not read. I'm sure people in the chat are like, man, I played that like 5 years ago. What are you talking about? How do you not know what this is? There's allies. So you just pick like one expansion. So unfortunately, we have to sort out all 50 or so winter cards out of here now. And you just find them based on the bottom of the card. So this I know is 51st state, so I sort those out versus the winter, and then I sleeve up the allies, for example, and then I shuffle the allies in and grab the ally components, which look like they also have their own tokens that you must play with. I don't know how they work, but they're basically just ways of just like adding a little more complexity and a new little aspect to the game. So what you saw today was like basically the base version of it, as simple as it can be. And it's still a clever little thinky competitive game, which I like.
But I like that these are included so that we have variety in the game.
Yeah.
And then the last things I would say is two things that I don't really love. One is the jokes in the rulebook just drove me bananas. But anyways, besides that, we already talked about that. Is I don't love how these are kind of very samey.
Boring.
Boring, yeah.
I was shocked there was not expansion stuff for this. I was surprised there wasn't a module in here to add more of these in the game, or switch them out for something more interesting here.
Yeah. Or even if there was, like, I can't remember how many's in there, 6 or 8 of them in each stack, but I wish there was like maybe 20 of them and you shuffle them up and you deal out for each stack so many, right? So you have, you don't know what's coming.
I wish they weren't so simple. I mean, it's clever. It's very clean, elegant, and it works what these are. But I wish they were on there like, sometimes they'd come up saying, spend a worker or a gun to get this one.
Yeah.
And this one, spend a brick or this. Not always just 2 workers to get one.
Yeah.
I wish there was a different cost random on here. So sometimes a player could grab them and sometimes they couldn't.
Right.
But it is fun that like basically anyone can get them because everyone gets workers at the beginning and can grab one at least right away. And
I just wish more variety on them.
Yeah, they're just kind of boring. They just always come up and it's like, oh, it's 2 reds or 3 reds. 2 reds or 3 reds.
Yeah.
2 blue or 3 blue.
But that's like just like super nitpicking. But everything else, I'm like, all good with.
Yeah, it's great. But I do like the way you can hold these. Like I could grab them, hold them, and save them for like end game, and then go crazy with them.
Yeah.
Where I'm like trying to blow up your locations right at the beginning of a turn, sort of, and all that kind of stuff. But I do like the timing aspect and the push your luck on a turn and that kind of stuff. Of like, you have to pay attention to the table in this one. It's not a multiplayer solitaire. It can be. You can put your head down and just build your little village and try to build your engine. But the players who are paying attention to what you're doing will time it properly when to blow your stuff up, stop you from doing things, steal your resources, grab cards that you're looking for. So you have to pay attention to what everyone's trying to do to make sure they don't mess up your flow, or like you can mess up their flow. So, but Mel and I played a game where like I never attacked her once. I was testing. I just never attacked her once. But she did blow up one of my things, and literally she saw the beautiful engine I was building. She blew it up right in the heart, like crippled it, made a whole bunch of cards useless that I had in my little village, which was cool that she could do that with just one attack. And I was like, I like it. I like it. It felt good to see that happen. But yeah, overall, I think it's a pretty cool game. Again, put all aside that they keep repackaging it, basically just keep reselling the same game over and over again and acting like they need crowdfunding money to fund that, and then just put a whole bunch of copies in stores to sell to everybody when they could probably just done that anyway and just pre-order. They just use crowdfunding as a pre-order system. Kind of like doesn't really put a good taste in my mouth, and the advertising in the rulebook kind of makes me not look at Portal games in a good light. But I don't know if I've really played any other Portal games besides this one.
Well, none of the ones they advertised.
Yeah, I don't own any of those, and probably never will now, because seeing those ads in my rulebook makes me not want to buy that stuff. I'm like out of protest, because there are many games to buy, and all you need to do is do one little thing to make me choose another game over yours, because there's way too many great games to choose from. Maybe we have played one. Robinson Crusoe?
Yeah. Oh, I haven't played that.
Yes, I played that one solo on stream. And we also own like, there was like, because we like true crime, we bought like a detective game, I remember.
Oh.
It is a Portal game that we've never played yet on stream or anything. So, but other than that, I don't think I own any other Portal games.
I do want to try Robinson.
But yeah, I saw someone mention earlier the Imperial Settlers they like of this version, which we saw is also in the 300s. So like, it's like you just pick your theme, whichever one you like on the table. I like the post-apocalyptic art and look. But in this, it does not even matter. Like, there's no theme here. It's just cool to have those images and like this graphic design. I like this kind of aesthetic. It just like, I don't know why it was used in this game. I'm not sure. I still don't understand. But that's why it was so easy, I guess, for them to just Imperial Settlers. Let's have you in a little village fighting each other with like fantasy looking art or whatever. I don't know, whatever. But yeah, I don't know. I guess it makes sense.
Yeah, I think it makes sense.
You're building your own little village and just
like,
fighting each other. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it could easily be like how a World War II theme on it. You know, like you're building an army, or like
it could be a house where this is all like your main floor stuff. This is like your second floor. Like it could be anything.
Yeah.
Could be anything.
Where I just rob your house. I don't know. Could be like competing home builders. You have a competing home building game where like I'm building my homes or my neighborhood or whatever, and like. Yeah, it's just, I don't know.
Versus mine.
Yeah. But anyways, yeah, it's a fine game.
It's fun, yeah.
I see why it's still solid. I don't know, it's still fine. I'm having a blast playing some of these old classics that are still holding up today. But yeah, I definitely want to try multiplayer. But yeah, it's super basic. Wasn't too expensive for what we paid for it. I want to try some of the expansions. I feel like even if we just played this base version multiplayer, or try the new era deck in here, then maybe I'll try the solo probably once, and then I'll try a couple of the expansions. I want to see what those machines are about. I want to see what the worker placement or the area control one is.
Yeah.
But even all those games played, so 6-7 plays, I feel like that'd be the value.
Yeah, that's
I would be totally fine if after that I just never played it again. I feel like I would have got value out of it. So I can't complain. It's solid. It's quick. It's clean. I don't know. Seems fun.
And we've had fun playing it. Like,
does anyone have like a favorite expansion for this? Anyone who's played like a whole bunch of this? And if you're watching later, drop in the comments below any information to a noob like me and Mel to this. If you have anything you've learned, if you played them all, what you like, what worked at higher player counts or lower player counts, or out of the solo versions, there's like the regular solo and then the Automa or whatever. Like if anyone has experience with that, I'd love to hear it. Drop it in the comments below. It also helps other people who might be looking into this game get some extra info. Who are watching later, check the comments down below. But yeah. Thank you, Tim, for your super chat, which I'm sure will pop up on the screen in a second. Thank you for your first super chat on the channel. I appreciate it.
Tim, thank you. Thank you.
And again, I'm trying to say the name of that game. Ora e Labora. Trying to fund it. Thank you for the $20 super chat.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
I got to look into both those games. You said Le Havre and this other one, and kind of choose between them if we're going to grab one.
I think this is the one Tim would recommend then.
I'm sure he's trying to bribe us.
Yeah, you're trying to say, I see what you're saying, Tim.
I see the bribes. I see the bribes. I recognize them and I respect them. I respect the bribes.
That's funny.
But yeah, Tim, I'm down trying all these like Euro games, even the old classics. Like again, after playing like Castles of Burgundy and like now this one and like what else? I know it's not as old, but like Brass and these kind of ones. It's fun to play some of these games that normally I would have. That's not my type of game. I don't want to waste my time with those. I see why they're solid and I have fun playing them.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't mind dabbling into some of these old games or these weird looking Euro games that are like not really appealing to me visually, but I'm still down. I'm still down to try them. I'll open up my eyes and palette, be a little more open-minded. I'm okay. I'm okay with that.
I think sometimes it's nice to play I mean, we call them one-off games, right? Instead of these big, huge, epic campaign games that take months and months to play. Like, it's fun to play these games.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, we call them like one-off games because we kind of usually just stream them once, or they're just sit down, play them once, put them away.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. There's no campaign or legacy part to it.
Yeah. Yogi says, okay, 2-player Cosmoctopus or 51st States? For me, probably Cosmoctopus. I like that whole engine and resource management. It's the same exact thing, right?
I think I would choose this one.
I don't know. I like that one because it just looked like it was a little cleaner. It has more of the toy aspect. I know the theme is still like kind of weird and not maybe really connected. I don't know.
I think I would choose this one. I like the theme of this one. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, they are pretty much the same game, right?
Yeah.
Now that I think about it, the cards, spending them, resources, just turning this color into that color, and there is still the fighting of like moving the octopus around the board and trying to mess with the opponent a little bit.
Yeah. And
stealing cards out of the row. I don't know. Maybe this one, if I'm thinking the messing with my opponent. If I'm remembering correctly, I feel like this one has a little more of that.
Yeah, I don't really remember much in Cosmoctopus other than like moving it, but then your opponent can just move it. Like, they still will get something.
Yeah. And then grabbing the cards they might be looking for, but that's like in any deck builder kind of thing. That's kind of how that is. Yeah, I don't know.
What about you, Yogi? What is your choice there?
Here's the thing, though. I would probably pick this one, but again, this one I've not played any expansions. If I never played the expansions, then base game versus base game, maybe just pick Cosmoctopus, to be honest. Smaller, simpler, straightforward, easier to teach with younger players. And this theme might turn off some players. It's kind of ugly. Cosmoctopus, I think, is kind of a more elegant, beautiful game. Yeah, it's just a smaller footprint. Because if I'm never going to play all expansions in this giant box, then like, what's all that for? Like, I don't need that. This kind of looks dated and a little cheesy, but then again, if I play an expansion from this box and I'm like, oh my God, this area control stuff, and then this other one, it's like, okay, now we're not talking apples to apples, right? Because like, I don't have an expansion for Cosmoctopus, right? It only came out recently, you know? But yeah. But yeah, they are very similar. When you mention it, it's just they're so simple, like resource management games. But this one I would play with like our older players. But Cosmoctopus, I feel like we could get it to work with younger players too. Like,
yeah.
Because it has more of that like cartoony kind of vibe to it and cute toy vibe to it. Yeah. Trying to explain the world ending theme to a child is maybe not what I want to do. Yeah.
Playing with gun.
I'm gonna use this gun to kill your chemists and steal your stuff and burn your house down. And
can we get strikes for saying guns?
No.
Okay.
I guarantee there's YouTube channels in Midwest America all about those guns.
Oh, okay. I was
talking about them all day. I'm sure.
Okay.
I'm sure there's a hobby for everything.
Yeah.
There is a hobby for everything. Yeah, if you can buy it, there's somebody talking about it and reviewing it.
Oh, as long as we don't fire the gun. Okay.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure there's people that fire guns on.
Yeah, like there's got to be news footage and stuff on YouTube. That's totally okay to show that stuff.
I don't know.
Or do anything illegal.
Yeah, but you know how sometimes like there's obviously like AI that's like listening, right? So it's like, do they go when they hear it? Like, wait, let's check what this channel's doing. Okay, no, we're good. They're just playing with toys.
Yeah, this man-child playing with baby toys. Loser.
Oh, that's funny.
Anyways, so that's 51st State. That's a playthrough of it. If you want to see more, click that like button. Thank you to all 65 of you who've clicked the like button already.
Thank you.
Much appreciated. Thank you to these people right here for supporting the channel, and many others like Tim and Yogi and Jacko and all the others, you guys today who are watching, liking, sharing, all that stuff. Much appreciated.
Yeah. Matthew too. Matthew today.
Oh, I try to not forget Matthew's talking trash to me in the chat, so I'm trying to cartoony this. I'll show you Matthew. But yeah, so thank you for the support. Thanks for allowing us to purchase games like this, play for you guys on the channel. If you want to see more of this game, which I'm down to try that one for sure, maybe a couple more streams, we'll see. I'm down. Let me know in the comments below. Click the like button, share the video, that kind of thing. And yeah, we're going to get out of here now and go learn another game to maybe play for you this weekend. We'll see. A game that just arrived yesterday. So yeah, hopefully we can get through that. If you don't see us, maybe we'll be playing something else. I don't know. We'll talk about it in the next stream. Can't give away any surprises. Thank you all for subscribing, to helping us get to 19,000 subscribers, road to 20K. Much appreciated.
Thank you so much.
Thank you guys for helping the channel grow. Yeah, hope you enjoyed today's stream, but thanks all for hanging out. Thanks for spending time with us. If you noticed anything or have any info that'll help someone else, drop it in the comments below. Much appreciated. All right, enjoy the rest of your day. Happy Friday, everyone. We'll see you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye-bye.